Good morning, and we have 20 more minutes in the wait, and then we start with the last leg of La Ruta Maya Belize River Challenge, heading from Burelboom to Belize City. And we're ready. Yesterday we made it before them with our reviews of the history and culture of the area. What we need to look at in the race now, and I'm just doing a little fast review of the standings that we just saw, is that Coupe Ship Metal now has 3 minutes and a couple seconds comfortable lead. Today, of course, the West Track guys will try their best to really push on trying to catch up, but I don't think 3 minutes, if what we are seeing, that these teams were seconds behind each other.
It's the niche.
Yeah, the niche team, sorry. The niche team is the one that's coming right behind them, you're right. So if we look at it now, the niche team, which is now in the back, 3 minutes behind, we see them, Efrain Cruz, Felix Cruz, and Henry Cruz, the three brothers from Esperanza. And the Coupe Ship Metal, the leading team is Jerry Cante, Amado Cruz, and Daniel Cruz. These are very popular names when it comes to canoeing. In the mixed category, we still see, in the mixed category, we are looking at, sorry, I think we looked at it. In the West Track Bismillah team is the first mixed team. And they're the ones that are actually in second place overall at this time.
Yes.
So they actually made a comeback. Niche is in 5th place overall because of what happened to them yesterday.
Yeah, they capsized.
So they capsized, and then one of their team members got out of the race.
Yes, yes.
So we're looking at well, more interesting now, where we have a mixed team actually in second place. Mm-hmm. That's extremely interesting, and this mixed team is a husband and wife and a family member, and they are it's Clayton Cab, Mileni Cab, and Eric Canoe from Santa Familia. So an interesting race now when we have a mixed team with on second place overall. Then we have young cutters who came from pretty much a nice race to now being up there. The young cutters is in 3rd place. Friends of Friends moved to 4th place. Those are the Cub Arms team members. And Friends of Friends is, well, we know that team is really interesting team, which was all the Cub Arms guys from Certeneja. Then they realized they couldn't continue paddling, so they started using paddlers from Santa Familia. And now the team is still Santa Familia. Doesn't have big sponsorship, but it's being supported by Friends of Friends, Outback, and the Cubs Arms team, the Cubs team family is supporting this race.
I like the name, Louis, Friends of Friends.
Yes.
Because it is friends of the Cubs who are
supporting the race, yes.
Helping their friends.
That's right.
Yeah.
And it's Roy Cano, Jesus Linares, and Carlos Linares, also from Santa Familia. So we have this interesting change on the race. We have Niche then in 5th place. The Wash Higher Stake. The Wash Higher Stake is 6th overall and is the first in the family category. Okay. So now we have, before family categories meant the father and son-daughter, or 2 sons or 2 daughters. That was, now we look at a family category which is in 6th place overall, meaning they are really doing a lot of damage there. They are actually ahead of a lot of other categories, yes, yes. Which shows that the family category is in a racing capacity, being on the 6th overall. Mm-hmm. In the Masters, on 7th overall is the Print Belize. Print Belize is the one that has Armin Lopez in it. Armin Lopez has won La Ruta Maya for 10 years, and he's been paddling the race for probably 16 or more years. He did skip a few years. And then also, Armin has been our pride in representation of Belize internationally in different races, and he's done excellent, along with Jerry Rayburn and also Chris Guyden and the Cruz brothers. So we have a lot of paddlers who are recognized also internationally.
That's good.
And I think that we should give them that recognition, not only for the 4 days of La Ruta Maya, but we need to give them that recognition as we give recognition to our basketball players, our football teams, because these are it's
big up the sports. Big up the sports.
And Belize now in international racings are known as some of the best paddlers in this kind of racing, which we're looking at down to Panama, up in the U.S. As Elvin mentioned, the real professional canoe racings are up north in Michigan, in Canada, in New York. So it's really an interesting factor that Belize has been able to put some paddlers, and as Elvin mentioned too, when he brings paddlers out to participate internationally, he also looks at their discipline. Yes. Because we are hosted by families, and he wants to make sure that we are disciplined athletes, and that's really interesting as well. Okay, we looked then at in the Masters. We saw those. The Harris team is two twin brothers and always a family member. It was a dad before. Now it's another brother or cousin. But the team Harris is in 8th overall, and they've been planning this race for over 5 years now. And every year they go, and it's a team that also goes out there and looks for sponsorship. We have Vanilla Hills, a team that just came. All right, we're moving now to the Burrell Boom, where the starting of the race is happening.
Morning, no dancing, Javier. Out there we can see guys warming up, getting ready for which would be a short sprint today, for lack of a better term.
Yeah, it's a sprint day. Nobody can tell us that better than Jerry can. But truthfully, as a non-paddler, as a person that has never held a paddle before or jumped into a canoe before, the person can say what he sees. Jerry, is it an easy day?
You were saying Ronda jumped in a canoe before you?
Well, no, I mean racing-wise.
Oh, I'm just checking because Ronda was in canoe yesterday. Today is going to be a short stage, Javier. I don't think it's going to be much of a work for the guys because remember Coop Sheet Metal, they had a big lead yesterday on niche. But anything can happen. Anything can happen. You never know. These guys are going to play it safe, though. We're going to watch a nice race today, Javier.
The water is deeper. It doesn't run as fast. Does that make it, even though shorter, does it make it more difficult?
Yeah, it's going to be a lot difficult when they get into the canal. That's when the race that's when we're going to see change place, going to change place in the canal. But the thing is, can Niche make up that ground?
I don't think so.
I would say Coop would have to stop, Bismillah would have to stop, Friends of Friends would have to stop, or a miracle would have to be propelling Niche for them to make up that time.
But I'll be quite honest with you. Knowing these paddlers, knowing them, believe it or not, these guys up front, I believe intentionally would stop and wait for the others, man. They're all buddies.
You know what? There's
I don't think
ego,
so, Javier.
there is money, there is fame, there is adrenaline. Today the answer is no.
And it's the last day, Javier.
Yes,
everybody wants. Yeah,
they
everybody
want to put
wants
that
to win
show.
that last day.
Do you really believe that Elvin wanted a sprint versus what is happening today?
You know, I understood exactly what he said. He does not necessarily want a sprint, but he wants to see the racers race. You know, it's unfortunate when you come out here to race and something happens that prevents you from racing the way you want to race. Yes, he's happy with the win, but he would have wanted to see something a little bit more spectacular. Maybe 30 seconds or 10 seconds or 5 seconds, but not minutes.
Well, I guess it's the way that Niche went down too. It wasn't fighting, it's the fact that they spilled and that made them lose some time.
Yeah, they spilled. They flipped yesterday, and they said the guys had a little stomach bug or something earlier in the race, and that's the thing, Javier. It warms my heart to see one of the top teams, you know, fell out like that yesterday. The wheel just fell off, and it puzzled me.
All right, we have a, I'll give you the mic. But this is a young lady that I've met years ago, Joan. Welcome to the Ruta Maya. You've been here years ago. And you've also been following the race. And you've done some other things to the race as well. That has been very good. But I'm going to give Rhonda, come on, Rhonda, come on. She was speaking to you a little while ago about the things that you do, which other people might not know. Apart from photography, you've also done some good things to paddlers and to the race as well.
Well, we love coming to La Ruta Maya. We've been here almost 20 years, and when the race first started, it was a group of lodges and people around Canoe wanting to teach people to paddle and to make a case for keeping the river clean and to show people how to use the river. So we got involved building racing canoes at Chaw Creek. We build racing canoes in Canada, and it's our business. And so we've been coming down for 20 years now, showing people how to build canoes. So the design of the boats has changed. They're faster boats now, and they're boats that people can build at home. So the guys in Cristo Rey, Team Harris, they built their own boat just with local materials and local skills.
You know, every so often we hear Chris saying that he's going to go to Canada to practice and to work and to learn to build canoes. And a lot of times well, not a lot of times, we've never been able to put a face to the people that have assisted him in making his business a success. So you are one of the people that definitely house and train Chris.
Oh yes, Chris is a great guy, and we met him. We've taken several woodworkers from Canoe, and then we met Chris and invited him to come and work in our shop. Canadians love Belize, and Canadians started coming to participate in La Ruta Maya in the very early days. Bob Vincent, who you may have already met, has been teaching people marathon paddling techniques, and we have been teaching them design and woodworking skills so they could have fast, wonderful boats made in Belize.
What's your opinion on the transition of the race over the past 20 years?
Oh my gosh, the boats are faster, the paddlers are more fit and more skilled. It's just wonderful to see the interest. I mean, Chris Guido's daughter, a beautiful young woman paddling and working out and keeping fit. It's just, it's so heartwarming to see how Belizeans have embraced canoeing and a healthy lifestyle.
Thank you so much.
Joan, years ago I took you to Esperanza, you were documenting Armin as well and his paddling.
Yes, Armin. And Armin is here paddling with his father. It's so incredible.
And we have a champion here too. Yeah, we have Jerry. You remember Jerry, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, we wish we could have more international paddlers coming to the race. It's such a beautiful country, and people are so welcoming and friendly. It's great.
Well, thank you, and we'll see you along the river.
Okay, thank you.
All right, that's what's happening right here. We're waiting for the start of the race, but in the meantime, we find interesting people to talk to. And oh, you're shaking your hand.
Yeah, I watch the boats, the dinghy way you call, right, in the river. And we need them, Jerry. We need people to be out there to save lives. But we don't want to see these little inflatable boats capsize the canoes, man. Sometimes they don't have the experience. They're trying to help, but the movement and the wave effect cause paddlers to spill like yesterday.
Yeah, I've been doing the race for years, and that was a problem earlier in this one, and it's a problem many times in the race that I paddle, Javier. We have these guys running up and down in the boat. Yes, they're supposed to be out there, but they have to take time out to know that the canoe is not a boat. It's a canoe. They're in the boat. They need to move on down. We want to give big up to the Coast Guard. They're there for a reason. But, some of the guys, they just have to take their time out to realize the paddlers in that skinny canoe, with the wave that they're throwing off, it caused a lot of problem.
Yeah, that's right. And like you said, we congratulate them, definitely congratulate them. But they have to be very careful as well with the wave effect. Now, let's talk about deep water. Let's talk about opening up. As we go down towards the Caribbean Sea, the river opens up, Jerry. We have more wind coming in from the east. Does that make it more difficult?
Yeah, the wind factor play a lot more different role than the shallow water. Shallow water play a different role. Coming into the deep water now, Javier, the deep water paddling, it's very hard to get. That's what I was talking about. The race get a lot different. Get in that deep water, it's hard for you to drop a team. That's why right now with the time gap that niche is behind Coupe Sheet Metal, it's very hard for them to make up that gap. It's very difficult.
Give me your paddling technique. If you're in shallow water, what would your paddling technique be versus deep water paddling?
Well, in the shallow water, you have to use a lot less, a lot less power stroke. You have to use a lot lighter stroke to keep the canoe moment forward. In the deep water now, you could use a lot more power stroke because you could sink your blade a lot deeper. You could pull a lot harder, which you have to.
All right, and Jerry, come on, the race is about to commence. We have Runda here. They are lining up. The BDF is already calling Runda. Whoever has the microphone at the moment will call the race. They are already lining up, as you can see. Let's see, people are beginning to get jumpy and excited. The paddlers look a little bit frisky. This is the moment where the truth really tells. This is reality. Yeah. This is, again, the moment where they want to let go because they want to prove themselves, as Jerry and Runda have been saying. Today is not a day to joke around. The 3 minutes lead that we have will be 6, will be 10 if possible. They don't care. They're not timid anymore. They're not humble anymore. This is hunger. This is the time to win.
Not only that, I am sure that Niche will put off a show today, even though they are not out for the chance of them winning is not easy, but they will want to win this leg. Why? Because they want to come into Belize City with a bang. They want to show off. They're ready. They're hot.
You hear that, Runda? That's the thing that get these guys wild up. You know what that means? That's the last day. Javier have gold seed. You see that? Yes, Javier have gold seed now. You know, this is what we do on the last day of the race. This is it. Everybody, that's when, you know, everybody is saying we appreciate the race. This is when all these guys are going to move on, go home, and we're not going to see each other again. So
one of the things that touched me the most about the Ruta Maya, you have a lot of real humble people in those canoes as well. A lot of men that have not been mentioned. A lot of people that we never interview because we don't get the chance to do so. But they're still in that canoe. They're still paddling with pride. They're still on the river. They're still the people that have the attitude and the right attitude of carrying the life of the La Ruta Maya. And that's what life is all about on the river top.
That's true, Rich. Javier, that's true, man. You know, a lot of teams out there, we wish we could have get to speak with these guys, you know, but we didn't. But we want them to know that we remember them. Although we don't get to get that interview from them, we remember them.
That's right, and Runda, that's the aim, that's the goal of the La Ruta Maya, to cover as much as we can. We cannot do it all, but like Jerry says, our heart is still with them.
Well, there's a few more minutes before the race actually starts, maybe a minute or two before it starts. So let me go over the standings for you. We have Coupe Sheet Metal in first position, which is the male category. We have West Track and Bismillah Store. They're the first mix. They're second overall, and they're first in their category. Then we have Young Cutters, second in their category, third overall. Friends of Friends, fourth in their category, fourth overall, and third in their category. Niche, fourth overall, and fifth overall, and fourth in their category. Those are the first top 5 teams as they stand here on the start of day 4. Wash Higher Stakes, they're first in their category. They're in the family category, and that is where the 10-year-old is sitting.
All right, and they're getting frisky now. They're getting really frisky now. I can literally see the canoes swerving backward. They're going forward. They try to keep them online. It's very hard because these guys want to go. It's like the racehorses. You put them in that cart, you know what? And they just want to pop out, Jerry. That's what's happening here today.
Yeah, these guys want to move off. Trust me, right now they are very nervous. You know, all kind of things going through their mind. But, you know, that's the rush they get in the race. If I was there right now, man, I was always want to pull forward. I can't wait for the horn to go off, you know, and everybody's listening waiting for the Coast Guard, the BDF to blow that horn. If anybody go make an accident right now and blow the wrong horn, these guys would take off. We will have these guys going.
All right, and then, as my colleagues have been saying, Niche has a point to prove. The Cruz brothers are going to push this race today, according to what we do understand. The Ruta Maya 2018 is on. We are on our way to Belize City. We're going to be cutting through that canal. We're going to be in open water. We're going to be in deep water. We're going to be in the wind factor against us. We're going to be in the sun. We're going to be hydrating. We're going to be eating our food in those canoes. Ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be it. The champions of champions is going to be created today, as the end of the La Ruta Maya is going to come in just about 3 hours approximately.
That's right, and we see people in this canoe right now smiling. This will be the last smile you will see until they cross the finish line again in Belize City. I see Chris's daughter for Black Orchid smiling. I see Chris with a smile on his face, but trust me, once they leave here, the smile is gone until they cross the finish line.
We are at Barrel Boom. The bridge is packed. The riversides are packed. People are waiting. Again, as I said before, the attitude of the La Ruta Maya is on. People that love the race are here. People that want to enjoy a vacation are here. People that have come all the way from Belize. My good friend Leonardo Carcamo all the way in California. I say hello to you, my friend, because I know that you're watching this race. You're following it, to you and your family, Kirks. I hope that you're enjoying it. And to all the people abroad that are watching it, Los Angeles, New York, Chicago, Miami, everywhere else in the United States, we'd love to say it to you all. We love you, and keep on watching the race as well.
That's right. You can see this race online on Channel 7's feed, TNC's feed, Run the Crichton's page, Morning Matters page. Go online and look at it. If you can't sit at your television set all day, definitely do not miss the opportunity to follow the greatest canoe race this side of the Mississippi.
That is totally correct. The greatest canoe race this side of this Mississippi. M-I-S-S-I, S-S-I, P-P-I.
Yeah, Javier, I don't. You guys got me wound up. You guys want me to get out there in the canoe right now, man. You don't know. Listening to that guy from BDF keeping telling you, go.
There we go. There we go. The La Ruta Maya is on. And friends of friends kicking it on. Coop is gone. Nitch is gone. Nitch is gone. Look at Nitch. I can't believe it. They were ill yesterday, but they're proving the point.
They're giving it their all. They are running. Nitch is out there. Coop Sheet Metal out there. Friends of Friends is out there. Young Cutters is out there. Miss Millers is out there. Harris is out there. Nobody is going to hold these guys back today. And then we look in the back. And then we see in the back.
Who are they?
I don't know.
They look like the Swamp Witches.
They look like the Swamp Witches, but they're not the Swamp Witches. The fourth and final day has just taken off. Guys, this race is going to get into Belize City between 11:30 and midday. So if you have any intentions of seeing the end of this race, oh, there's a spill. There's a spill right there, right under the bridge. If I can't see which team it is, but this definitely will take away time from the people that just had that spill.
Oh, there's somebody. Oh man, Rona, I didn't saw that. Which team is that?
It's hard to see which team it is, but it's not one of the front runners. It's definitely one of the ones from the back. But whoever it is, it's going to be a hard time because they have to find their way all the way back to the bank.
No,
or they don't.
The boat's going to help them. The boat, that's the job of the Coast Guard. They're going to assist that boat to turn that boat over for these guys, because now, like what we spoke about earlier, it's deep water. So now this is where the boat comes in. This is where we expect the boat to work, not to be running around in front of the guys making all the wake, because some of these guys cannot stay upright in these narrow canoes. They're very treacherous to stay in.
All right, so we actually see the service boat at giving service actually.
Yeah, they're helping. They're helping because we had a capsize and they went there as Jerry says that's what we need them for.
It looks like a Coast Guard, one of the boat from the bat sub. It's a bat sub team. I saw the flag on the front.
I can
of the
tease
boat.
them?
Yes, you can.
They're normally in the back anyway, so this is not a big deal for them.
That's true, Rhonda. But you know what? I love these guys out there. Some of these guys are my friend. They're in the...
I mean, this is the spirit of the game, right?
We're only making fun, but you know, they're back in the boat already.
They're ready again.
That's where the boat comes in.
What's their name? Bat sub or back sub?
They're more like back sub.
I'm going to say bat sub. I don't know what you guys are.
Because you understand the pins.
Yes, I understand what these guys paddle for 3 days, Javier. Coming right now, they got their fingers hurt, your muscles hurt, your brains hurt, everything hurt coming down here now.
You know the difference between them and I?
What's that?
That's why I don't do the race.
The only thing hurt right now, their voice, maybe.
I am afraid of that. That's a lot of pain. Ready?
I'll tell you what though, guys, we definitely have to send it back to our studio. That is the start right here from Borough Boom. We're going to send it back to our studio, pay some bills, and we'll be coming back with this fine race.
I'm an outdoor girl. And sometimes, I'm an indoor girl. Central TV and internet gives me peace of mind. And that's something I think we all could use a little more of. I need a service that can keep up with my busy lifestyle and is fast enough to keep me moving forward. My life is full of changes, but change is good. I might not know what's coming tomorrow, but I'm blessed to have what I have today. And that's exactly why I keep it central.
were never meant to sit, to rest, to settle. We were meant to run. And at Valvoline, we never stop pursuing innovation for your engine. Like our full synthetic motor oil, specially formulated to deliver our best performance and protection. To keep you and your engine moving forward. Valvoline, 150 years under the hood.
Available at all Caribbean Tire branches and at a store near you.
Ask any landscape professional who they depend on for professional grade power tools, and the answer is always the same. Echo. Ask any dealer who offers the most powerful, most durable, and most reliable equipment in the business, and they'll tell you, Echo. Then ask yourself, doesn't your lawn and garden deserve the professional's choice? Echo. The best outdoor power equipment you can buy.
Make Atlantic Insurance a part of your travel plans when traveling to Chetumal, Cancun, Merida, or anywhere in Mexico. Whether it is for vacation, to conduct business, or just relaxation, you can purchase for 1 day, 1 week, or 1 year. Atlantic Insurance offers certified and reliable insurance policies from a well-established Mexican insurance company. For more information, call 223-2657 or visit any of our offices countrywide. Travel with the best insurance coverage. Travel secure. Travel with peace of mind. Travel with Atlantic. Atlantic Insurance, insuring you from life's unexpected.
Our country.
Our country.
Everybody. Our country.
Our country.
Our country. Our country.
The Belize Bank Limited. Our country, your bank.
After you pick the place, pick up a great deal at Alamo on all kinds of vehicles for every vacation, because everyone loves a little getaway and big savings. Alamo.
Have an idea for the building of a structure and not sure exactly what you want or how to go about achieving it? Then worry no more. Let the pros at Remen Associates get it done for you. At Remen Associates, we have trained professionals that can assist you in the designing, engineering, and construction of the building of your choice. At Remen Associates, we bring your ideas to life. Call Remen Associates at 615-6200 or visit them at 3/4 miles on the Iguana Creek Road in the Spanish Lookout.
Hola, hola, hola. Can I get a 7-Up or Pepsi Cola? Hey, Miss Laura, if you want to treat me, please don't give me no soft drink. We're ordinary. Please give me a Pepsi Cola, Pepsi Cola, Pepsi Cola. Or a 7-Up, dig it up, dig it up. 7-Up, dig it up, dig it up. Hola, hola, hola. Can I get a 7-Up or Pepsi Cola? Pepsi Cola.
Get your free smart SIM and join the smart family. Just swap your old Digicel SIM with Smarts and enjoy all our cool services.
I'm a big star, 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 I'm a big
Smart, bringing people together.
Nobody wants a roof that is weak and always leaks. The proof is in the roof, so go with the pro. Coop Sheet Metal, the #1 supplier of your complete roof structure. Coop Sheet Metal roofing products are of a guaranteed quality. Both our Galvalume and pre-painted roofing will give you a long lifespan and your roof will look great for many years. Use C-purlins and hat channels to construct a fire and termite-proof structure that will be stronger and last longer. At Coop Sheet Metal, we are dedicated to offer great customer service, strive to give our customers products of the best quality and at the most reasonable price possible. Call Coop Sheet Metal at phone number 823-0118 Email us at sales@coopsheet.com or visit us at Mile 1 on the Iguana Creek Road Spanish Lookout. Coop Sheet Metal, a proud sponsor of La Ruta Maya Belize River Challenge 2017.
It's true. It has been proven that coffee is a natural source of antioxidants because it comes from coffee cherries. And like some other fruits, it provides an important amount of antioxidants. I drink several cups a day, and when I do it, I enjoy more than the aroma and the taste I love. Another good reason to drink Nescafe.
Minutes into the race, and we saw really a high speed takeoff.
Yes, impressive.
It was an impressive takeoff. You're right on that one. I think it was. You know, the team niche needs to gain some ground. They're fifth overall. They were only seconds in that fight with, or 1 second in that fight with Coop, and yesterday something bad happened to them, and now they're fifth overall. Before we move on into other things, I just want to come up with, look at, in the male category, Coop is in the front, or let's look at the overall, the first, we'll do the first 20 teams just to understand where we are with the race. All right. The team Coop Sheet Metal, again, guys who have been paddling for many years, a lot of experience, getting the opportunity also to go international, are in first place. Then the mixed team is in second place now due to Nich's fallback. Young Cutters is in the male category, and Friends of Friends is in fourth place in the male category. And overall, Nich, although they lost all this time, they're still in fifth place overall. And see how much they can actually catch on. They're pretty far from the first team, so it's going to be difficult for them. But I think it's possible if they, they have to really put a lot of power into those paddles. On the sixth place is an interesting because it's a family category team that consists of 10, 13, and 16-year-olds. Okay. Again, family to the Cruz and the Lopez and all of them. But anyway, it's a small team. When I say small in age, but they are huge in power. I mean, they're sixth overall of 53 teams that started in Ruta Maya. This team is sixth overall, and there are 10, 13, and 16-year-olds. Then on the seventh place overall, we see Print Belize, which is a team with Gentle and Armin. Armin, the most experienced, well, I shouldn't say most experienced, but one of the better paddlers in the Ruta Maya. And Mr. Gentle, who has participated all the time in the pleasure craft. Now we see him now change to Masters. On the eighth place, we see Team Humes, who is the three brothers, and we see Team Humes, two of them are identical twins, so we won't be able to identify who is who, but they are in the family category, and they're 8 overall. Vanilla Hills, another group which is family ties with Santa Familia, are in 9th overall, and they were coming 16th and 12th, and now they're 9th overall. So they've been doing pretty good, moving up. And they're in the male category. In 10th overall, we see Unbreakable in the family category. On 11th overall, we are now seeing another mixed team. Coast Guard in 12th and Pact 13th. Then at 14th overall, we see UB Jaguars, which is in the first in the intramural. But we see now in that category of intramural, we only have 3 teams, and only one has made it all the way up to 14th overall. So the intramurals seem to need to be put a little more effort, I guess. I mean, if you're going to be participating against schools, it is an expensive sport to be able to require for school. I mean, for schools to put in
the practice
teams,
that they need,
the practice and the equipment and everything. In the Masters, we discussed Sprint Belize at 7. The second in the Masters is at 15, which is Oceana. That's with Chris Guyden participating in Oceana, and the Canadian guys who have been very influential in supporting and helping them building canoes as well. 16th overall is Mission 316 from Cristo Rey Village. Garcia Brothers and Jesse Spot is some part of this team. And what we look at there is the Cristo Rey, again, right on the Belize River Valley and upstream of the Macal River.
And it's nice to have them in, because for a while it was basically San Ignacio, Bullet Tree, Santa Familia, Esperanza. So we are kind of stretching out to the other villages that utilize the river, no? That's good, that's good. Yeah.
And then we then see, let me just, we go into the pleasure craft. That is, the first pleasure craft is at number 20, which is Wedding Day, and they're all the way to number 20. And the first female is all the way down to number 27. So we're seeing that there's, the categories have changed. We have 15 male teams, we have 6 masters teams, 14 mixed teams, including the Japanese teams are in mixed teams. In the family category, where it was very difficult to get teams, now we have 9 teams, and they are doing extremely well. We have 3 family teams in the first top 10.
That's good.
In the Masters, we have 1 in the top 10, and so you see the family and the mixed teams seem to be the ones that will be able to compete along with the male category, if we call it. I mean, or the professional, we call it. Yes, so in the overall categories, or in the overall timing of the race. Interesting now, we are at Burrell Boom. Yesterday we discussed a lot about the boom and all the logs coming down and being selected there for the different contractors, and then rafted down into Belize City. So what are we going to see now between Boom and Belize City?
There is not much between Boom and Belize City. Like I explained, we are now in the floodplain area where the tides at times have their effect, and so the terrain differs. We are getting into the mangrove-based vegetation, and some of the palms, how we call them,
those huge tall palms.
Right, those
yes.
cabbage palms, all right. From here to Belize City, our best access to the river will be Lord's Bank and then Ladyville. So we may not have a lot of reporting from the banks because it's hard to get down to the riverside from here. That's on the north side, which is basically a savanna area also, but on the south side is where the mangrove and the swamps take over.
And talking about the mangroves, I think we need to just put a high importance that nobody is allowed to cut mangroves if they don't have a permit from the Ministry of Natural Resources, and an environmental impact assessment, and or an ECP from the Department of Environment. And it is important that people actually obey these regulations, because it's not just for a regulation's sake. It is for the protection of the environment, but at the same time for protection of us. It is the mangroves that protect us from all of this dramatic floods and dramatic hurricanes. The mangroves actually hold the soil together.
From eroding,
yeah, from eroding, and also holds all those, if we have a storm, all of those waves will actually break in the mangroves.
So they break the intensity of the strength of the waves coming in.
Yes.
Right. As we discuss more on what you may find, we will find the Bud Bank settlement. I remember when we went through, we asked, where are we? We are at Bud Bank, sir. And I'm sure if we had asked, and how the one name, it may be a Bud, and how the other one would have been a Bud, no? But yes, ladies and gentlemen, the Bud Bank that we hear about in these Bud Bank wedding song is in this section of the race that we are traveling now. Not too far from the Lord's Bank landing. On the south side of the river is where the Bud Bank family, or the Bud families, are found. Another habitated area that we found was that lodge by the poor man rest house on that south side. The story said that that's where a slave used to go and relieve their daily problem. The area then became known as the poor man rest house. A lodge is now there. I'm not too sure. Can't remember the family that runs the lodge, but we did stop there for a while and had a small interview with them when we did that run before the races. No? Right. So, like I said, there are very little habitable area you will find because of the terrain, especially on the south side, that is more prone to the flood when the river flood. The Ladyville, Lord's Bank area are higher, and so the water goes to the south side and create that flood that could take you all the way, mile 8, whatever those little lagoons are in that area.
Which these lagoons are very important, again, for the protection of storage, and very important for the protection of our communities. These are the lagoons that actually hold all of that flood water and then release it slowly into the sea. If these lagoons were not there, or if these lagoons are actually filled, as some of them were proposed to for land reclamation, we would then have more severe flooding in Belize City.
Because the water will go down that way.
And have nowhere to actually empty. And if we have the sea will not allow it to empty that fast. So what would have happened is that it would find ways, and it would have a lot of erosion and a lot of damage to property.
Right. Okay, when we get to the Harlover, I've explained yesterday that historically the superintendent, Marcus Despard, and Superintendent Barrow lived on the north side of the Harlover Bridge, but the Harlover Creek itself has interesting history, and we'll discuss that when we get into that area there of what you can find in the creek itself. For right now, it's only a creek that is not used much. It is an access to the Belize River. So instead of going all the way around Barracks and those areas and then coming to the Halover around the Mohoki area, you could shortcut by using the Halover Creek to join the river.
Which is a natural creek extension of the Belize River.
Right. It is one of the branch of the...
And coming from the Belize River through the Halover Creek, as we call it, which is an extension of the Belize River, it's what we call the mangrove cathedral.
Yeah.
It's like a tunnel. You are actually navigating
under
a canopy of mangroves, and it's really beautiful. It's not that nice smelly, but it's beautiful.
I know.
And it's really interesting.
But you know, Luis, as we are there, probably a lot of people may have not been aware of it, but from the entrance of the Halover Creek all the way down to where Pastoral and all those buildings were.
The Bridge area.
Was sort of an island by itself. You understand? The creek and the sea. And so all that landmass was sort of a long running little island, right?
Okay.
So, I mean, we are trying to bring out things that the Belize people need to know.
Yes.
We are making you become more aware of Belize.
Now, looking a little on that area of the environment, I must say the cruise tourism and other parts of tourism, other sections of the tourism industry uses the Belize River all the way to Boom. Mm-hmm. And so we do see a lot of bigger boats with bigger engines, bigger crafts, watercrafts, coming upstream. And they come in through the mouth of the Belize River, and then they go upstream. One of the problems that we had last year is that over 145 manatees were killed due to that.
The boating.
That boating moving up and down at high speeds and not having any consideration of the animals there. Also, I would like you to look at what can be done, and there is a group of people who, Luz Hunter is one of the key players in this, Mike Hushner, an Outlook guy who lives right here in the Belize River Lodge. He's right on the river, and he sees all of these boats just flying through, and how can we, as a community, start really caring for the manatees. It's not about that, oh, the faster I go, the faster I move the tourists out, and I can get more tourists and move on again, and not any consideration for the manatees. I think it's very, very crucial that us as people who would go down the river would be more careful, and the tour guides and tour operators listen to Luz. Luz has offered these tour operators and tour guides a free workshop on how to take advantage of the manatees by going slow and use them as a tourist attraction instead of an obstruction on the waterway.
They're too hurried to get to their site that they want to show the tourists, and they are missing out on the other beauties that nature has given us.
And Luz mentioned to me once, he said, you could imagine the amount of tips that a tour guide would get by showing them a manatee instead of just flying them to one location, feeding them and moving them out. So these are things that we need to start incorporating into a tourist product. Now, we discussed that the Ruta Maya, from its pillars of inception, were environmental protection, were a tourist product that should come out, the history and culture. And I think we can incorporate the history, culture, and the environment as a tourist product, to develop a tourist product. And we were discussing about what can we do to bring back the Macal River and the Belize River into tourism, because we have lost it. I don't see much tourists going up and down the Macal River as a tourist destination, I mean, as a tour during the days.
Yeah.
When Ruta Maya started in 1998, most of the paddlers, Prek Butt, Felix Neal, most of the paddlers, Tony Santiago, and all of these people were actually tour guides that their job was to be right on the riverbank with a canoe, and tourists would come down and say, "Hey, I want to go on a tour," and they would take them up the river, show them some iguanas, some garobos, and then they would come back down, and that would be the day or a half day.
Yeah. I'm not seeing a lot of that.
We're not seeing that anymore.
Yeah.
A big factor is probably the clarity of the water in the Macal has not cleared since the building of the dams, but the river is still beautiful.
Yeah.
We can still do something. What can we develop as a tourist program? And I'm putting this out pretty much to tour operators. I'm putting that to niche, on the environmental, on the cultural part of it. But I'm putting it to the Belize Tourist Board, who has been on the Ruta Maya also as a major sponsor. And we have not developed, after 21 years, a tourist product that we can sell as part of the Belize River. Yeah, we have some resorts building up around, and we have different other activities around the Belize River, but not a tourist product.
Yeah.
Now, going farther down the river, we see Burel Boom capitalizing on cruise tourism by bringing people up. It's having a little negative effect on the manatees. But what else can we do? What other product can we offer? We talked about the loss of the Brock Down and the loss of the Boom and Chime, the music after Mr. Peters passed away. We lost that. And how can we do something to regain that back? I mean, we go to the tourist city, to the little tourist village, and we're playing Bob Marley, and we're playing other Caribbean music.
When we could have been doing our own.
We could have been doing that Brock Down, which is the typical and the cultural and the historic music of that part of Belize, of the Belize River.
Yeah. And that's what we should be doing, selling more of what we can produce from among ourselves, instead of relying on the imported music. So we are losing out. We are not training our people that they could be productive, and we are losing money when you need to buy those CDs or whatnot from outside. On the other hand, we could have been making some here and have them on sale. I think Belize needs to learn to utilize what she has. This import thing that we started as a settlement and got bigger as a colony is still the thing that is carrying us. For a lot of Belizean, Belizean can do nothing. Belizean can be nothing. It's always the outsider who is everything. And I think God
but we have everything to do it.
But God made all of us with potential.
Yes.
The idea is try get together now and see how you can make better of what you have.
With this, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we will talk more about Belize City itself. We will go back a little in history with the Belize Estate and Produce Company. We will also discuss more on the effects of whatever we do upstream affecting downstream and also out into the sea.
I'm an outdoor girl. And sometimes, I'm an indoor girl. Central TV and Internet gives me peace of mind. And that's something I think we all could use a little more of. I need a service that can keep up with my busy lifestyle and is fast enough to keep me moving forward. My life is full of changes, but change is good. I might not know what's coming tomorrow, but I'm blessed to have what I have today. And that's exactly why I keep it central.
We were never meant to sit, to rest, to settle. We were meant to run. And at Valvoline, we never stop pursuing innovation for your engine. Like our full synthetic motor oil, specially formulated to deliver our best performance and protection. To keep you and your engine moving forward. Valvoline, 150 years under the hood.
Available at all Caribbean Tire branches and at a store near you.
Ask any landscape professional who they depend on for professional grade power tools, and the answer is always the same: Echo. Ask any dealer who offers the most powerful, most durable, and most reliable equipment in the business, and they'll tell you Echo. Then ask yourself, doesn't your lawn and garden deserve the professional's choice? Echo. The best outdoor power equipment you can buy.
Make Atlantic Insurance a part of your travel plans when traveling to Centaur, Cancun, Merida, or anywhere in Mexico. Whether it is for vacation, to conduct business, or just relaxation, you can purchase for 1 day, 1 week, or 1 year. Atlantic Insurance offers certified and reliable insurance policies from a well-established Mexican insurance company. For more information, call 223-2657 or visit any of our offices countrywide. Travel with the best insurance coverage. Travel secure. Travel with peace of mind. Travel with Atlantic. Atlantic Insurance, insuring you from life's unexpected.
Our country.
Our country.
Everybody. Our country.
Our country.
Our country. Our country.
The Belize Bank Limited. Our country, your bank.
After you pick the place, pick up a great deal at Alamo on all kinds of vehicles for every vacation, because everyone loves a little getaway and big savings. Alamo.
Have an idea for the building of a structure and not sure exactly what you want or how to go about achieving it? Then worry no more. Let the pros at Remen Associates get it done for you. At Remen Associates, we have trained professionals that can assist you in the designing, engineering, and construction of the building of your choice. At Remen Associates, we bring your ideas to life. Call Remen Associates at 615-6200 or visit them at 3/4 miles on the Iguana Creek Road in the Spanish Lookout.
Hola, hola, hola. Can I get a 7-Up or Pepsi Cola? Hey, Miss Laura, if you want to treat me, please don't give me no soft drink. Where ordinary, please give me a Pepsi Cola, Pepsi Cola, Pepsi Cola. Or a 7-Up, dig it up, dig it up. 7-Up, dig it up, dig it up. Hola, hola, hola. Can I get a 7-Up or Pepsi Cola? Pepsi Cola.
Get your free smart SIM and join the smart family. Just swap your old Digicel SIM with Smarts and enjoy all our cool services.
I'm a big star, 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 I'm a big
Smart, bringing people together.
Nobody wants a roof that is weak and always leaks. The proof is in the roof. So go with the pro, Coop Sheet Metal, the #1 supplier of your complete roof structure. Coop Sheet Metal roofing products are of a guaranteed quality. Both our Galvalume and pre-painted roofing will give you a long lifespan and your roof will look great for many years. Use sea purlins and hat channels to construct a fire and termite-proof structure that will...
Si tu perro es de raza grande o pequeña, dale un Rambocan, Rambocan. Si es delgado o robusto, pelo largo, pelo corto, dale un Rambocan, Rambocan. Rambocan en su presentación para adultos o cachorros. Dale Rambocan para que tu perro tenga piel sana y pelo brillante, huesos y dientes fuertes, músculos resistentes y mejor digestión. Dale lo mejor. Dale Rambocan. Salud y vigor para tu perro.
Save big this Easter with Central TV and Internet. Get 6 megs high-speed internet as low as $69 with free installation. That's right, 6 megs upload and download for only $69. And if you're already a cable subscriber, get 1 month free internet service when you sign up and save even more. For more information, call us at 880-4200. Offer ends March 31st.
New Buildings Limited is the company of choice when it comes to design, fabricating, and erection of wide-span metal buildings in Belize. At New Buildings, we have a team of well-trained professionals that can produce the most innovative and durable metal structures. Be it domestic or industrial buildings, we can get it done for you. We have put together some of the most outstanding metal structures in the country. We also do estimates and consulting. Visit New Buildings in Spanish Lookout or give them a call at 631-8723 or 610-5185. New Buildings Limited, the experts when it comes to metal structures in Belize.
Burns Avenue is a quaint street in San Ignacio that has 2 of the nicest restaurants in town. If you are looking for excellent local food, a variety of international dishes, and the greatest happy hour in town, it must be Eva's Restaurant. In the event you are interested in Indian dishes and lots of tasty curries and tandooris, your only option will be Serendip Restaurant. While in Cayo, be sure to check out these 2 places, Eva's Restaurant and Serendip on Burns Avenue in San Ignacio. See you there!
Welcome to a piece of paradise on earth. Juntas Conference and Cottages. Allow us to help you escape from the hustle and bustle of everyday life. We provide all modern conveniences for you, our valued traveler. Each cottage is surrounded by greenery and timeless landscape of mature trees and open fields. At Juntas, we offer every home comfort and a slew of simplistic spoils. Come in today and have us host your conference, wedding, yoga retreat, or even that family reunion. Give us a call at 672-1000 or visit us online at juntasbelize.com. Juntas Conference and Cottages. Come get away with us.
As a family, you share family time, playtime, celebration time, anytime. Smart Family Share Plan handles the text, call, and data part. You get a plan for 5 people. Unlimited calls within the group. 1,480 national minutes, 10 gigabytes to share, while each member gets 200 SMS. And the plan admin gets unlimited calls and texts to any smart number. Now you think that's a big bill every month. Well, this is the best part. This plan values at $980, but you get it for only $150. So for $150 a month, you get to share data, text, and calls at an unbelievable low monthly price. The family that shares together stays together. Smart, bringing people together.
Taste the ultimate first quencher. Cool you down when you're hot and sweaty. Good for you and your whole family. Satisfaction, relaxation. Raise coconut water is the great refresher.
We're here at the Outdoor Sports Day. Ah, cut! The sunfly is the murder. Wait, how comes you know to get bite?
Mommy uses Go Just for Kids to protect me from them and the evil mosquitoes that give you dengue.
There's also Go Protection for us adults. Can't be too careful with the dengue scares. Here.
Wow, this really works. Even the ants stop bite me. Well, you heard it here first, folks. Go! Protect yourself.
Shortax, Go, and Ministry of Health reminds you to protect yourself, your family, and your community from Zika, dengue, and chikungunya by emptying out all containers with water from your yard.
Distributed exclusively by Grace Kennedy Belize Limited.
You too can ride off into the sunset. Milan motorbikes are very affordable. There's a high availability for parts and a wide selection of models to choose from. My Milan, my bike. Available countrywide.
You gotta fix that.
Have fun walking home. Have fun walking home.
When you are looking for the widest variety in glass windows and doors, you must visit the pros at Belize Window Mart. They can provide you with tinted glass, clear glass, laminated glass, frosted glass, one-way glass, mirror, sliding windows, single hung windows, storm guard windows, hurricane shutter, glass louver windows, arches, and showcases. Call them today for a free estimate. They deliver countrywide. Belize Window Mart. Contact them in Spanish Lookout at telephone number 823-0370 or 635-5252. Belize Window Mart. We have the windows to your home.
Sea Sports Belize, the only full-service paddy dive center in Belize City.
We offer equipment sales and are dealers for Aqualung, Mare, Scuba Pro, Sherwood, and more.
Our qualified technicians do tank inspections and equipment repairs, and we're the city's first nitrox facility.
We do first aid and CPR training, paddy scuba instruction through instructor, specialty courses on coral reef education.
And we offer daily diving and snorkeling tours.
Fantastic! Sea Sports Belize, we do it with love.
Call 223-5505. Class starts today.
Of all the colors in the world, orange is perhaps the most exciting, distinctive, and vibrant color there is. Just like the Orange Gallery. But what makes the Orange Gallery outstanding is what's inside. A huge collection of breathtaking wood carvings and a spectacular display of home decor accessories and magnificent gift items. Browse a fabulous selection of furniture, from chairs to entertainment centers. And wait till you see the Orange Gallery's breathtaking selection of jewelry for every occasion.
Okay, we are on the northern highway, on the side of the highway, of course. Next, on the other side of the river is River Bend Resort. I was just informed by one of the local people around here that that's the name of a fantastic looking little resort across the river, River Bend Resort, and it's right along the bend of the beautiful Belize River as well. Now this is flatter water, EJ. It is deep of the highway, of course. Next, on the other side of the river is River Bend Resort. I was just informed by one of the local people around here that that's the name of a fantastic looking little resort across the river, River Bend Resort, and it's right along the bend of the beautiful Belize River as well. Now this is flatter water, EJ. It is deeper water. If you notice, it's beginning to open up now. This tells us that it's going to be an effect on the paddlers because the wind, where we're standing right now, you can literally feel the wind coming in. So the paddlers will have to work against the depth of the water, the openness of the river, and of course the fact that the wind is going to be blowing in. So it's much tougher as well.
One of the things that I enjoy being on broadcasts like this, Javi, is that you get to see your country for what it is. And not a lot of people get the opportunity that we get as broadcasters to see these things. The airport is immediately behind us. We got off the airport junction and going to the airport, but we're here at the Rivers Bend, and you said Rivers Bend Lodge. The only way to get to Rivers Bend Lodge is by what would be the taxi, their local taxi, and I believe it's only for Rivers Bend. Anyway, let's get back to talking about the race. The water is flat indeed, but if you look down like to where Manatee Lodge is at, where we can't see Manatee Lodge from where we're at, but the bend, you could see that the wave, not the waves, but the water is not as smooth as it is coming down from behind the airport.
That's right, and the reason why is because the wind keeps on coming in and it gives it a little almost a wave effect. And we are a few miles away from Lord's Bank, okay? And there's a lot of curves along the river, and from this point we go next to the opening of the canal on the Belikin Bridge, as well a lot of curves along the Northern Highway to there. It's going to be quite interesting because from where we're standing we have a very, very long view. When the paddlers approach, we're going to see them very, very well. So we won't see this so easily again after this, because when we go to the Belikin Bridge, one of us will have to stand on the bridge to ensure that we see them coming, so we get prepared for that sudden curve that takes them into that canal. But it's going to be quite an exciting day. Coming in this wider river area, as I said before, deeper water, as Jerry said, they have to put the paddle deeper into the river to give them more push. And then the wind is going to also fight against them, and then they will go into that canal, which is very narrow, and if they fight to enter it, then they can capsize, and then again they open into wider canal. It's going to be quite interesting.
Based on last year's race, Harvey, is the first one to get through that canal, enter that canal, is basically the first one to exit, because it's so narrow, you can't really race through there. And when we were there last year, somebody flipped over, and the stench that comes out of that canal, it's something to reckon with.
Well, we have to remember that this is what you call an estuary. In that area, you call it an estuary. What do we mean by that? That's the ecosystem that exists there. Most of the siltation and all what the river brings down actually accumulates on a flatter area that approaches the sea. And it's very fertile land, but at the same time, it brings a lot of silt, and it accumulates on the bed of the river, and you know it decomposes there. So what happens is that the minute you enter and you stir it, that stench will come out. But imagine you get all of that out and you put it into a farm or into a garden, the plants would definitely smile, because you know what? There's a lot of wealth of minerals in that mud as well.
And the landscape around here is indicative of the same thing that you're talking about. Because if you look at the landscape up and down the river, it's beautiful lawns. I mean, who would have known that they got nice properties around this place? So it is true what you're saying. It is a fact that the silt is rich in minerals to grow your grass and everything else.
And as we move closer to the sea, you begin to have more mangroves. And in these mangroves, you have more lagoons. So the ecosystems begin to change in this area. You have 3 types of mangroves in the country. You have the red, the white, and the black mangrove. You know, then you have the buttonwood that's a relative of the mangrove. And it continues going on. We have 2 species of orchids in our mangroves. We have the lady of the night, and we also have the bullhorn orchid. These are the only 2 species, and in the mangroves throughout Belize, we have approximately about 70 species of birds that live in the mangrove life. So you know what? Don't think about it as that. That's also beautiful, beautiful life. Remember, the mangrove as well also stops all the siltation that would, or not, the filth that could come into the mainland. As well, it acts as an estuary for younger fish. You know, all this, the crabs, the cichlids, the shrimp live within the mangroves so that they get protected at an early life, so that they can grow. If we wouldn't have the mangrove, all the big fish would eat these things and we would get none.
One of the things that you also learn about this La Ruta Maya is that you get not only geographical lessons, but you also get environmental lessons. Here you are talking about the different types of mangroves that we have here in Belize and what role they play into our ecosystem. So again, this is not only about the canoeing. This is also about protecting our ecosystem.
And you said something that is totally true. And I'm going to say this today, and I hope nobody takes it negatively, but I think that the race and the race organizers need to also emphasize a lot on the environment, and as well especially is to have a real clean, serious campaign of sweeping the river, not only during the race, but all the time too.
We noticed that when we were over at Boom, I mean, after every stop at Boom, it's usually the party before the party, because that's the last stop before we go into Belize City, where all the entertainment is at when this canoe race is over. But one thing that we got to keep in mind, that we're in Boom, those bottles that we saw again, I don't know who was responsible. And again, we're not trying to sound negative in any way, but whoever was responsible to clean the area or the grounds weren't doing a really good job of it, because I saw empty bottles floating along the edge of the river.
And that's one of the sad things. I know Luis Garcia in studios loves this, because he's a man that has a lot of passion on the river, cleaning the river and Belize overall. And I'm going to say this especially for Luis to pick up on it as well, is that one day I hope that we legislate on the stopping and cutting of styrofoam in this country, and let us try to use biodegradable material. The tourism industry is huge. Our Belizean people as well need to understand and get the education on biodegradable material versus all this pile of styrofoam that causes a lot of filth in our country, and as well it's not good for the soils. So again, one day, maybe when Luis Garcia gets into office, he can fight for legislation so that we can stop the use of styrofoam in Belize and use something that will go back into the soil positively. But let's get back to the race. In just a while, we're going to see paddlers approaching from where the camera is shooting at this time. Beautiful, beautiful sunny camera, just captivating this live and beautiful pictures of the La Ruta Maya race every single day. Our cameraman, Misael, directing us as well as what to do, when to do it here, doing a fantastic job. Well, the lens of our camera is picking up such a beautiful day. The sky is blue, white puffy clouds, the sun is out, the temperature is rising, but we have beautiful wind coming in from the east. We're standing along the banks of the Belize River at this time, waiting for the paddlers to approach from the west. Let's see what this race is going to finish by. Even though Coupe Sheet Metal is far ahead, the ball never stops rolling until it stops rolling on the pitch, on the river. It's the canoe, never stops paddling unless it capsizes or somebody gets ill. Let's see what the race is going to finish at today. EJ, anything can happen.
Anything can happen. One of the things that I noticed earlier, we were talking about how dangerous it is for the dinghies to run up and down the river because it causes waves to the canoes. But just after the bridge and boom, when they left, one of the canoes capsized. And there was one of the dinghies or one of the rescue boats who helped them to get back into their canoes and head back down here. Another thing that I also noticed, Harvey, is that this site is similar to Grace Bank. I believe the other spot that we stopped again, Isabella Bank, and we can't forget the starting point at Hawksworth Bridge. So this is one of 3 points, one of 3 vantage points that we could see the actual canoes paddling up to come to meet us, get to the markers, and then head down to wherever it is that they're going to.
Totally so. And entering the canal today as well, EJ, you mentioned if they ever fight to get in. Yes, they fight to get in. I've been through that canal following the canoes. It gets so narrow that if they try to do that, they will capsize, and they prefer not to do that. If there are 2 canoes in the canal, one stays in front and the other one stays to the back. So there we go. Right through the canal today, we're gonna wait until it gets out, taking them into Belize City, and that's not too far away. This race is going to end probably in the next 2 hours. Let's see how it will go. But normally around midday is the time that the race ends, right, Drew? If I remember clearly.
You are correct.
Drew, what's today like for you?
Today's pretty relaxing. We've had 3 hard days, and this 4th one, hopefully, it's usually one of the easier ones to cover. So I'm looking forward to the party at the end.
That's right, and there we go. Drew says he's looking forward to that party. I think what we're going to do, EJ, is we've said a lot, and okay.
Before we go back to studio, this area is really, I've witnessed it personally. I've seen manatees traversing up and down these areas. And a lot of times, the boats with the engines, they come through here like it's a racetrack. I mean, it's like a boat racetrack. You got to be careful coming through here. Again, we talked about the ecosystem. We talk about the garbage being thrown into the river. But we can't forget one of Belize's biggest attraction, the manatees. Last year alone, from what we gathered, 145 manatees were killed up and down the shores of Belize and in these rivers. So we got to be careful as well, instead of just rushing through here. We could take our times, and this is to mariners and boaters who come through here.
That's a sweet message, and I know that my friend Luz Hunter is going to love you for that, because she is actually fighting and educating people in this area. It's a good point you brought up. Thank you for that. Again, we're going to ask all these boat captains to be very careful along the river, because those gentle giants live within these estuaries. They love to be around here too, and please drive carefully, because you know what? These creatures, if you kill them, you literally feel as if though it's a human you're hurting. They're so gentle. And they're mammals. Yeah. They're mammals as well. They feel. So people, man, please be careful. And captains, please take your time along the Belize River. But for now, we're going to come back with more information. And I'm sure that you're going to be enjoying the La Ruta Maya 2018. So Luis Garcia and everybody else in studios, we take it back to you.
I'm an outdoor girl. And sometimes, I'm an indoor girl. Central TV and Internet gives me peace of mind. And that's something I think we all could use a little more of. I need a service that can keep up with my busy lifestyle and is fast enough to keep me moving forward. My life is full of changes, but change is good. I might not know what's coming tomorrow, but I'm blessed to have what I have today. And that's exactly why I keep it central.
We were never meant to sit, to rest, to settle. We were meant to run. And at Valvoline, we never stop pursuing innovation for your engine. Like our full synthetic motor oil, specially formulated to deliver our best performance and protection. To keep you and your engine moving forward. Valvoline, 150 years under the hood.
Available at all Caribbean Tire branches and at a store near you.
Ask any landscape professional who they depend on for professional-grade power tools, and the answer is always the same. Echo. Ask any dealer who offers the most powerful, most durable, and most reliable equipment in the business, and they'll tell you, Echo. Then ask yourself, doesn't your lawn and garden deserve the professional's choice? Echo. The best outdoor power equipment you can buy.
Make Atlantic Insurance a part of your travel plans when traveling to Chetumal, Cancun, Merida, or anywhere in Mexico. Whether it is for vacation, to conduct business, or just relaxation, you can purchase for 1 day, 1 week, or 1 year. Atlantic Insurance offers certified and reliable insurance policies from a well-established Mexican insurance company. For more information, call 223-2657 or visit any of our offices countrywide. Travel with the best insurance coverage. Travel secure. Travel with peace of mind. Travel with Atlantic. Atlantic Insurance, insuring you from life's unexpected.
Our country.
Our country.
Everybody. Our country.
Our country.
Our country.
Our country.
The Belize Bank Limited. Our country, your bank.
After you pick the place, pick up a great deal at Alamo on all kinds of vehicles for every vacation, because everyone loves a little getaway and big savings. Alamo.
Have an idea for the building of a structure and not sure exactly what you want or how to go about achieving it? Then worry no more. Let the pros at Remen Associates get it done for you. At Remen Associates, we have trained professionals that can assist you in the designing, engineering, and construction of the building of your choice. At Remen Associates, we bring your ideas to life. Call Remen Associates at 615-6200 or visit them at 3/4 miles on the Iguana Creek Road in the Spanish Lookout.
We're coming closer to that what do you call it, diversion that we're going to take right now. Instead of going out to the sea, we're going to be taking that diversion on the Hullover Creek, right by the Hullover Bridge. And it's a beautiful navigation tunnel under the canopy of the mangroves. And then you come out into an open, which is still full of mangroves. And then you have Belize City, the Northern Highway section on your left, and you have the south side of Belize City to the right. And as you go along, you see a lot of other little channels that go into different sections, and then you have the Burden Canal. The Burden Canal pretty much is what boats in those days would take to go down the Burden Canal. You pass the Siboon, you go into northern the different lagoons are there, Faber's Lagoon, and then you go into Northern Lagoon, and you end up all the way to Manatee, to Gales Point. So there is a route, a water route that you can take from Belize City to Gales Point, Manatee, and that you would reach much faster than if you go on land right now.
And the canal, the Burden Canal, was built as a drainage for flood, so that it does not affect Belize City that much. We'll cover it some more.
So it is also another of those important drainage facilities. And I think this is very important for our legislators to know, and very important for our NGOs and all our partners, all of us, the Belizeans, should know that all of these areas are actually there to protect us. Those lagoons, those channels drain the water from not flooding Belize City.
Yep.
And I think it's crucial and very important that we keep them that way. Instead of saying, oh, we need to reclaim more land, and we start claiming more land. I know there is a plan in Belize, the master plan of Belize City, which is, all right, we cannot go, let's not expand anymore into the mangroves. Let's not do that. Let's go up. So let's have buildings that will be now 5 stories tall, instead of trying to expand, and start cleaning our waterways. And by cleaning our waterways, we would then, instead of being on the Northern Highway at the Belama area, and you want to go downtown Belize City by Albert Street, instead of taking that 20 minutes traffic jam road, you can jump into a small boat and it will take you in 5 minutes, and you have a nice, beautiful view of that Hullover Creek.
Yeah.
So let's go back into the river where we are right now. We haven't gotten into the Hullover Bridge Creek. We are still coming down to Belize River Lodge. My hats off to Mike Hushner there. He's a guy of enough respect towards environment. He runs a resort that is specialized in fishing, and he takes people from the Belize River out into the sea through the estuary that Javier was mentioning, and he goes out into the sea and does a lot of fishing. He's very recognized for that passion of fishing, and he fishes around Belize City. He doesn't really go out into the reef, so he knows the areas around the mangroves that actually have a great catch.
I know.
So we will do, now we are in that area of the lower Belize River Valley.
Yep.
What's important, and who were the characters that made that area so important?
Okay, this area in which we are right now, without the diversion of the Hullover Creek, is the sort of beginning of English, or let's call it Caucasian settlement of Belize. We are told that there was a guy called Sir Walter Raleigh who passed around this area in 1618. In his crew was a young man called Peter Wallace, And when Sir Walter passed here on his way to the Orinoco, we never heard anything much about him after that. But we did hear about the young man, Peter Wallace. We know that by 1638, Peter Wallace came to our area, the Bay of Honduras area, along with 80 pirates, and they made a settlement on the northern banks of the Belize River. Lamentably, we don't know exactly where on the Belize River north side he made that settlement. It could have been the Ladyville area or the Lord's Bank area that he made his settlement. What he tried to do was to get away as far as possible from pursuit by whoever at that time wanted to pursue the pirates. But the story went on to tell us and that he came up this river, the same river we are on right now, with the entrance at the hall over there, and he made a settlement to which he gave his name, the Wallace settlement, and the river to which he also gave his name, the Wallace River. And so then we are told that as the years went by, either Spanish interpretation of the name Wallace began to lead to the Belize, and eventually we come to the name Belize. I have been able to find this kind of information in the Spanish sources that I read, and also in the English sources that I was able to find that tells us about this early Scottish buccaneer and his 80 pirates, who were basically Frenchmen that came to inhabit our shore. I will explain some more about the Frenchman story in a dance that will come up later among the slaves in Belize City called, what was it? We had the English doing their dance, the Africans doing their dance, and the Sambai. And then we also had the Gumbe dancing, and I'll explain about the Gumbe dancing.
Well, let's get into it now since we're waiting on it, because when we get closer to Belize City, we might actually be in that race excitement. Okay, so let's get into the cultural excitement.
but I'm given some alerts by our studio there.
We're getting ready to go.
Okay.
Well, let's be on the standby. So we had Peter Wallace, who settled on the banks of the Belize River, but did he do any commercial activity, agriculture, logwood logging?
No.
So he was a pirate?
He was a pirate. He was waiting for the Spanish ships that were passing from Omoa, from anywhere on the Atlantic coast of the Central American area there. And then they would intercept them out in the sea, take their treasure, and then come back to hide in the Belize River area. So they avoided St. George's Key because the key is out there in the open sea, and they did not want to be pursued. And so they may have gone all the way up the Black Creek and hid in the Crooked Tree Lagoon area.
So can we start treasure hunting in that area pretty soon?
I wonder if they left any treasure. But if anybody do find, that would be interesting to me, because it will verify what we are saying did occur. Okay? But lamentably, like we said, we aren't too sure exactly where on that northern bank the Wallace settlement or post, or whatever he may have wanted to call it, was. We do know that the superintendents were on the north side of Hallover Creek at the entrance there before they moved to Belize City in the 1800s. But like we said, we'll cover more of those as we go into Belize City.
On the broadcast that Javier was doing from the banks of the Belize River close to the airport, he mentioned about the fertile soil that exists because of all that's coming down the Belize River. And let's put it, going back into history, million years ago, all of this was underwater. And then water receded from the sea receded to where it is, and then we started getting a lot of the rivers formation and erosion of the soils, and formed the lower part of the Belize River, which is where we are, where the race is right now. All of that was pretty much built up by the washing of the soils from upstream.
Right.
Now, you mentioned
but before you go any further, Luis, the river probably is more important than that in its earlier days, right? I read somewhere that the Belize River originally ran northwards, and as it went northwards, the land began to rise, so to speak, and then it shifted the course of the river. But as the river shifted, it brought sand and silt for the riverine plain, and it also created a lot of these pine ridge areas that we find from Billy White area there, because that's where the pine ridge begin. That pine ridge was known as Turnbull Pine Ridge. In fact, the whole village of Billy White is built on the Turnbull Pine Ridge. And that's the first pine ridge we will find after the branching of the river there. And instead of going north, it started going eastward and then creating all the other pine ridge areas we find all the way down to Ladyville right now.
But very important to say that the Mayas knew this, and the Mayas also, closer to the coastline, built the Chinampa farming system, which was the floating of all that silt into sort of floating rafts, and building very, very good agricultural land there with all that fertile soil that is actually underwater.
And with all that rich nutrients.
The rich nutrients, exactly.
So, we used to complain about the flood because it hampered our use of the river for swimming, but there was a natural benefit of the flood.
Yes.
It would come and it makes the lands along the banks of the river, those little plain areas, more fertile.
Yes. Okay, so we'll go and take a break, and then we come back to more of the Belize River.
Look out, and I'll tell you, quite a crowd has gathered here to witness this race today. In the front, the race has taken on another face yet again. Jerry?
Yeah, Rhonda, now we can see Niche and Coop together, Rhonda. This is what I was expecting the whole way. And, it's sad for me to say yesterday these guys had this upset, and now today they look normal today. This is what the race, this is what Pedro wanted to see yesterday, and he can see that today. But the time I already told on these guys.
It's good to see them out here. I would imagine that they're just going to, while they're there, you don't see them jostling right here. You will see all the jostle happening when they're trying to get into the canal. Why? Because you can't switch position in the canal. So whoever gets into the canal first can really kind of relax for a little bit, I would imagine.
Yeah, this right where we're watching right now, it's only for a station prize or something right here. After that, they're going to calm off. As you can see, you saw that guys go back up, Niche going back up the wave. In the canal, they're gonna sit and relax all the way through the canal. It's only a two-man fight. Coop Sheet Metal know they have big time on it. So it's going to be a cruise all the way to the finish. What we're going to see is a big sprint. And we're going to see either Niche or Coop Sheet Metal winding it down to the line.
Yeah, because it's almost impossible for them to make up any time today. They're going well. If you notice the guys in Coop, they're just going back and forth, like you say, Jerry. But this is what the spirit is about today. This is the energy of the Belikin Ruta Belize River Challenge. Today is the fourth and final day. These guys are moving pretty fast. If you want to see this race, you definitely have to make your way into the city. Or you can just sit there and watch your televisions on Channel 7 or as well as on TNC. Remember, you can see us online as well. You can see us on Morning Matters Facebook page, Channel 7's Facebook page, TNC's stream on Facebook. There's lots of options for you to see us wherever you are.
Yeah, that's true, Rhonda. You know, we are sitting here at Mananti Lookout, and now Niche and Coop have a big gap, and everybody else, to me, it looks like a 3-minute gap or a 5-minute gap for my concern. You know, so at least we know Niche is back in shape. Like Rhonda said, you could stay home and watch your TV if you got HD on Channel 7, you know, and TNC. But the thing is, I'm excited. I wish I was in the race, Rhonda. You know how I felt when I see these guys pass. I was like, man, what if it was me?
You know what? I say in life, we live, we learn, we adjust, and we grow. This is another growing spurt for you, Jerry. So let's celebrate it. What we need to do is that these races would not be the same if there were no fans. Right, and then talk about the fun will bring air to your face. Okay, to talk about the people that will come out and watch this race. Good morning, ma'am. Tell me your name.
I'm Kenisha.
Kenisha, not turn this way because when the camera never there and you never made it act so. Now the camera come on, you act like you like what happened? The camera not even that close. We know that you're ready for talk. You say, who you want to say hello to?
I want to say hello to my mom.
Take your hand out to your mouth and tell me who you want to say hello to now.
I want to say hello to my mom, my boyfriend at home.
Your boyfriend at the home, why he never come out here?
I just sleep, it's tired.
Where you guys from?
City, Belize.
Do you normally come out and watch the race?
Every year.
What keeps bringing you out?
Oh, the fun, yeah. I like it.
Thank you, Kenisha.
Welcome.
All right, and over there we see friends of friends. We definitely see friends of friends, and behind them we see, I think it is the Young Cutters. So we see friends of friends right here. This is Chulo and his team, Friends of Friends. If you're looking and wondering where Friends of Friends is, they're a restaurant in Ladyville. They're about 11.5 miles on the Northern Highway. They're open from Thursday through Sunday. All right, so we have Friends of Friends leading the crew here. I think the other set is the Young Cutters, if I'm not mistaken.
We got the Young Cutters. We got Friends of Friends, the Young Cutters.
No, we have Friends of Friends, not the Young Cutters. The one in the middle is Young Cutters.
Yeah, that's not the guy from Boo.
Oh, yes, that is Young Cutters.
Then we have Miss
Miller. Miss Miller.
Now you can watch Miss Miller hanging behind. You know why now, Rhonda? The time, the hours that they put in Friday, you know, yesterday, it started to wind down on this mixed team. Now they're starting to take that pressure. They started to feel the blunt of it now.
That's right. We see Friends of Friends passing here in third position right now, followed behind by Young Cutters and Miss Miller. This will be a sprint when we get into the city because while they look so calm right now, they're just pacing themselves. It will be a sprint to get into that canal, and after you come out to that canal, the sprint will continue. To our right again, we see another team coming along there.
You know who that is? That's Wash. If I'm not making a mistake, Rhonda, that's Wash.
That's the Young Wash.
Yes, Rhonda. That sprint between Miss Miller and Friends of Friends. You know, it's going to be a nice sprint between Friends of Friends and the Young Cutters. Those are the guys that are almost the same type of shape we're looking at. The Wash, Rhonda. This little kid, man, you know, when I was that age, I was probably home. You know,
You're probably going to get firewood for your mouth, okay? You're definitely never there out there to fight up here to play marble. But one day like this, when we be young, the marble we to play or hopscotch or try and raise and kite, this a kite season. But definitely, we not depend no canoe to do nothing.
Nothing about canoe. Now we got the canoe race, you know, and kudos to this race, man. You know, it's warm my heart to see everybody come out and support all the paddlers. You know, these guys put a lot of work in there. I can see, if I'm not making a mistake, I'm looking at Oceana Wave Makers. I'm looking at Print Belize. You know, and I don't know.
The in the gray right there.
Rona, it looks like
Armin.
Yeah, Armin is like.
It's funny though because why is Chris now in front of Jerry? Armin.
You know, Print Belize know they got it already. They know they put a lot of time on Chris 2 days back to back. So
you get a chance to shine.
They're sitting there now. Let him make some money. It's all about, you know, friendship. It's all about that that collateral with that we share in the canoe.
You know what? You made a mistake. Krista behind them, but this is the Harris team. It's the Harris. So we see the Young Wash Pass. We see Harris. We see Print Coast Guard. Then we see Print Belize. Now, I can't tell the one in the greens who they are, but behind them, that is Print Belize.
Yes, Rhonda, we got Print Belize. And where is Ocean Away?
So we see the Wash just passed. Then we see Coast Guard cutters doing good here. Alongside them, we see Harris. Then we see boat number 23. Then we see Print Belize. Behind them, we see Vanilla Hills, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, it's probably Vanilla Hill. Then behind Vanilla Hills, we have Black Orchid. That's the mixed team with Avis Guides, you know, with the two guys from Canada, you know. Coming around the corner, it looks like Ocean Wave makers, you know, these guys have this thing in the race, the time, you know, the sun, the heat out there, you know, I expect that from the team, you know, but they're doing their best run, that they're having fun, they're on vacation, and I love it.
We see the guys from Black Orchid. Behind the guys from Black Orchid, we see the guys from Belize Rural High School. Belize Rural High School is made up of a young, strong team. These guys are doing well. They're passing out here in good time. Let me see if I can get next to Phil to see the order in which they're passing here so far. Tell it to me, Phil. We're here at Manatee Lookout.
We have Coops in the lead, slightly, 1 second or so from Nietzsche. So the two leaders back in contention. Should be a great finish. Third is Friends of Friends. They're about 3.5 minutes behind. Young Cutters were really close to them, 2 seconds. Bismillah slightly off behind them. Then the Wash. Then Team Harris, Coast Guard. Impact are up there, I think, for the first time from memory. Print Belize. Then Vanilla Lodge, Black Orchid, and Scotia Rural just went through. And we now have Oceana, I think.
That's right. We have Oceana passing here. Oceana, this is the team made up of Chris Guides and...
That's my brother, Chris Guides, and Bob Vincent. You know, and
it's funny that the bowman don't get no praise. What his name? We can't remember his name.
Remember his name, and man, I'm very sorry, I can't remember her name. But, you know, they're having fun. They're having fun, Rhonda, and, you know, look at Bob in that canoe. Bob is about 70 years old or 73 years old, and he's still hanging in there. This is
76.
Oh, man, you see that? 76-year-old Bob. You know.
That's right. Behind them, we see Vita Pharmacy. Behind them, we see Rima Boys. All right, Rima Boys says Mission 316. I think it is like John 3:16, if I'm not mistaken. That is my take on it, all right, because I know that they are religiously... rooted. Then we have Western Invaders. We have Western Invaders going there. And then we see boat number 26, if I'm not mistaken. But I'll tell you, these are the lead boats that are going to be making their way into the city. These guys are moving fast. This race is moving fast. This means that we're going to have what we would term as an early finish today.
Yes, Rhonda, the race is up the game because this morning the race started 9 o'clock. And right now it's only 27 past 10, and we're already at Manatee Lookout. You know, I can't believe, what's the name again? First and second place.
Niche
and Coop, you know, opened such of a big gap. And I thought they were going to come in like a 5-man group together. But it seems like Niche, the front paddler, his name is Ephraim Cross. He had a problem yesterday. It seems like today he's not having no problem. Today he shows that, you know, if I didn't have that stomach problem, it would have been a lot different race. So, you know, I gotta say kudos to Ephraim. He stayed in with his teammate today and make the race a different race at the finish. It's gonna make a nice sprint for us to watch at the finish.
That's right, and I tell you what, we have to remind you of our sponsors. We need to say, the next time that you're out and you're looking for good tires, please let it be Caribbean Tires. If you're looking for oil for your car or your joints, let it be Valvoline oil. Really, it's just for your car, all right? I got some of that yesterday. I feel much better today. When you're looking for shirts, banners, hats, T-shirts, it definitely has to be Impact Designs in Belmopan. Impact Designs, they are a company that not only contributes to the Ruta Maya by helping to sponsor some of these teams, they also contribute to many other sporting events. Kind of like Coop Sheet Metal, they're of the same spirit. They give as much as they can back to the society and to the community. So we definitely have to say, when you're looking for shirts, banners, hats, T-shirts, anything of that nature, to get your car up, definitely Impact Designs. If you have something personal that you want placed on your shirt, Impact Designs is the place for you. UB Black Jaguars just passing here, and behind them we have
I can't see that. Their name is so small around that I don't know. I don't know which team it is, but these guys look like horsing around.
That's what they are. That's exactly who they are. You're on the money. Your eye might be, could see how far, you know.
Yeah, I kind of youngish yet, brother. That's why Jerry Wilkins asked me, he said, Jerry, you're 48. I say, you got a couple of years to wait. I'm not 48. I'm not going into the Masters. So have fun with the Masters, Armin and Chris. You guys, I'm going talking about these guys. We have
C Sport Belize. Let me go over to Phil and see what number C Sport is passing here in. We are here at Manatee Lookout. C Sport will pass at 20, between 20 and 21, depending on how they jostle for position right now. But these guys are looking good. They're going strong. I remember when they were the young masters. 20 years later, they're the old guys. I mean, it's amazing to see how long they have stayed, how much they've contributed to this race, and how some of the people, when I started 20 years ago, I mean, the people that are up front, some of them were not even born yet.
That's true, Rona. That's true, you know. And right beside C Sports, we got
Hardly Particular.
I have to make that name clear because these people with their name, you know, they come out to us the first day. They're like, you know, you guys didn't say your name right, but now we got it done. We got another mixed team right behind Hardly Particular, and that's the team. I can't see the name of the team from here, but
let me go to someone that can see the name of the team, Jerry, because you're feeling me like an old man. But there's a person here. We have Esme with the binoculars. That's why we have Esme here, horsing around, Hardly Particular, C Sport, boat number 62. And then behind boat number 62, we have number 36. The Lucky Strikers. Do not mess with Esme. Esme have for she eye on it. All right? When you don't have your eye on it, Esme have your eye on it, okay?
Yeah, Ron, I know that, but you remember Esme have a binoculars, and I don't have that kind of zoom with these eyes yet. I'm getting old. I'm not masters, but I'm getting there, you know. But
and I'll tell you, Bucket List. Bucket List is made up of this girl from, I don't know all the members in her team, but she is definitely from the Cayo district. She's Eva Gobi. She is from Cayo. And I think it must have been on her bucket list why she named her Canoe Bucket List.
Yeah, I think it's taking off stuff off her bucket list. Probably she did some race somewhere else, and then she said, all right, Ruta Maya is one of the races that I want to do. And now she named that team Bucket List. But right beside Bucket List, we have somebody dropped out again. You know, they're sitting in a canoe, 2 men, you know.
Then we see tick-tock, all right?
What's going on
That's
here?
what's going on here. I'll tell you what, though, we're going to see a lot more teams passing here, but we have to bring it to your attention that the more teams we see passing here, that means the closer the race is getting to the city. If you want to see this finish in live time, you can sit home, watch it on Channel 7 and TNC. If you want to go out there and feel it and actually see it with your live 2 eyes, we encourage you to get up and go now. You know why you can get up and not go now? Because you can also, we're streaming this event, so you can see it on your mobile device. Somebody in the car go have the mobile device going on so you can enjoy the sights and sounds until you get there, reminding you that you can look for us on Facebook. The page is called Morning Matters or Channel 7's or TNC. Those are places that you can see this race being streamed. You can also go to my page, which is Rhonda Creighton, and you will definitely enjoy the best sights and songs of Ruta Maya 2018. Studios.
I'm an outdoor girl. And sometimes, I'm an indoor girl. Central TV and internet gives me peace of mind. And that's something I think we all could use a little more of. I need a service that can keep up with my busy lifestyle and is fast enough to keep me moving forward. My life is full of changes, but change is good. I might not know what's coming tomorrow, but I'm blessed to have what I have today. And that's exactly why I keep it central.
We were never meant to sit, to rest, to settle. We were meant to run. And at Valvoline, we never stop pursuing innovation for your engine.
like our full synthetic motor oil, specially formulated to deliver our best performance and protection, to keep you and your engine moving forward. Valvoline, 150 years under the hood.
Available at all Caribbean Tire branches and at a store near you.
Ask any landscape professional who they depend on for professional-grade power tools, and the answer is always the same: Echo. Ask any dealer who offers the most powerful, most durable, and most reliable equipment in the business, and they'll tell you, Echo. Then ask yourself, doesn't your lawn and garden deserve the professional's choice? Echo. The best outdoor power equipment you can buy.
Make Atlantic Insurance a part of your travel plans when traveling to Chetumal, Cancun, Merida, or anywhere in Mexico. Whether it is for vacation, to conduct business, or just relaxation, you can purchase for 1 day, 1 week, or 1 year. Atlantic Insurance offers certified and reliable insurance policies from a well-established Mexican insurance company. For more information, call 223-2657 or visit any of our offices countrywide. Travel with the best insurance coverage. Travel secure. Travel with peace of mind. Travel with Atlantic. Atlantic Insurance, insuring you from life's unexpected.
Our country.
Our country.
Everybody. Our country.
Our country.
Our country.
Our country.
The Belize Bank Limited. Our country, your bank.
After you pick the place, pick up a great deal at Alamo on all kinds of vehicles for every vacation, because everyone loves a little getaway and big savings. Alamo.
Have an idea for the building of a structure and not sure exactly what you want or how to go about achieving it? Then worry no more. Let the pros at Remen Associates get it done for you. At Remen Associates, we have trained professionals that can assist you in the designing, engineering, and construction of the building of your choice. At Remen Associates, we bring your ideas to life. Call Remen Associates at 615-6200 or visit them at 3/4 miles on the Iguana Creek Road in the Spanish Lookout.
Hola, hola, hola. Can I get a 7-Up or Pepsi Cola? Hey, Miss Laura, if you want to treat me, please don't give me no soft drink. We're ordinary. Please give me a Pepsi Cola, Pepsi Cola, Pepsi Cola. Or a 7-Up, dig it up, dig it up. 7-Up, dig it up, dig it up. Hola, hola, hola. Can I get a 7-Up or Pepsi Cola? Pepsi Cola.
Five, 4, 3. Okay, we are, EJ, we are on the mouth of the Hallover Creek at this time. And we are waiting on the paddlers to arrive here. You are going to experience quite a scene, EJ, when these guys just give the turn. In fact, it's going to be the first two teams. They're all alone. I don't know if they will fight to get position here because of the fact that Coop Sheet Metal is so comfortably ahead. We don't know if they're going to fight for the position in here or just for a matter of pride, or if Niche will try to beat them into this canal, because of course, who gets a jump on this canal can also come out first on the other side, and then of course have a jump on the other side of the canal towards the finish line. So let's see. I guarantee you though, it's going to be exciting just to see that the canoes approach us from that curve right into the canal where we are.
I think that it'll be for pride. The battle will be for pride here. It doesn't matter who's up top or who's in second place. Whoever comes through here is to say, okay, I made it in, you made it second. Or I made it first, you made it second. So that's how it is as we see the Belize Port Authority who are controlling traffic to come in here. One thing, Harvey, last year in comparison to this year, the shrubbery, they have cut a little bit of the shrubbery because it's a little wider than what it was last year. And now it may be a battle coming up as well because now the water is flowing out. to the Hullover Canal, Hullover Creek, just below Hullover Bridge, is flowing out that way instead of flowing the opposite way like it normally does.
Well, it's flowing into the river, which of course is very close to the sea. And again, we are standing on a huge concrete pillar, looking at this view. From here, we can see the Hullover Bridge, the vehicles just going right through. We can see the service team members beginning to position themselves along the river. In fact, right behind us is a cooler that has all the liquids that these guys need along with their food, because this is a good time to replenish them with water or with food when they go into that big, wide water in just a little while, where the wind is going to be fighting against these guys, and it's going to be very difficult for them reaching all the way to the finish line.
I see niche service team out here. A couple of service teams are out here, but the Belize Port Authority had cleared some of the service teams from outside the active river to come into the canal area, into the estuary that will empty on the other side, where these brothers will be making a mad dash for the finish line near Belikin Bridge, which is a new finish line, by the way, near the new Civic.
That's right, and you know what? When these guys approach, we don't want people there, because if there's anybody in the water, they can get hurt. These guys are not there to be waiting and trying to dodge somebody in the water. They want to cut inside this canal to shoot on the other side. And if somebody is standing or trying to swim around, you know, if a canoe hits them with the speed that these guys are coming, you know, it can be fatal as well.
Absolutely, it can be fatal, and we witnessed that the very first day of this canoe race, when one of the canoes just went jam. It took him at least 5 to 10 minutes to clear that canoe off the wood that it was stuck on the low-lying bridge in San Ignacio.
That's right, a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful day as we approach Belize City. The sun is out, the heat is rising, and you know what? These guys are in open water up to this point. The sun is beating on them. The wind is beginning to catch them. The water is deeper. They have to put these paddles deeper into the river for them to get more force to shoot ahead. You know, the race is beginning to get a little bit tougher to the end. But you know what? Again, determination, strength, they want to win. This is going to make the real champion the champion here today. I'll tell you something, EJ, with the factors, it's not an easy race. And I'm going to tell you, they are here. They are here, approaching the canal. Guess what? Coop Sheet Metal actually came in first. Right beside them is Niche. If you notice, Niche was very careful just now. They tried their best not to crash, because again, it would not be funny if they would turn over. But if you notice, Niche is still trying to catch them. Niche is still trying to catch them. But guess what? At this time, it is going to be, oh, they're touching each other. They're touching each other. And again, they have to be very careful, because this is not a place that they can overtake each other. Something can happen to one of them. No, we don't have anybody behind them. Let's see who comes out first on the other side of this canal.
You just saw what we have been talking about. You just saw the excitement of entering this canal, because in just jostling for it, Niche didn't really have to come in here first. Actually, Coop Sheet Metal didn't have to come in here first. But as we talked about it earlier, this is for pride. I got in there first. Beat me in here and then do whatever you want. But I made it in here first, whether or not I'm 6, 8, whatever, however many minutes I have in front of you, you still didn't make it into the canal before I did.
Well, one sad thing about Niche, the team behind, is that these guys suffered what you really don't want to suffer in a Ruta Maya. Yesterday, as I mentioned before, they capsized. And right after they capsized, exactly what happened and they didn't like to happen was the boy Cruz in the middle of the canoe actually had some really hard pain, and he had to get out of the team. Now, Niche is a team that could have easily been up in the front places along with Coop Sheet Metal. Unfortunately, they are behind in time. But guess what? Today is very important for them. Today it's a matter of pride and the fact that, you know what, I can be a champion too. And you know what? We don't know what will happen until the race is over as well.
Whether or not Niche comes in first or second, they will have cut off a lot of time off Coop Sheet Metal's time if and when we get to Belikin Bridge. Let's just wait and hear what that time will be when they get over there.
Totally correct. And now we're in the Hullover Canal, as we mentioned, Hullover Creek. We have the roots of the red mangroves showing. And this, as I mentioned before, is very important for Belize. The mangrove system is what shelters Belize from a lot of hurricanes. It shelters Belize from a lot of destruction as well. It is the estuary for young fish, and all the young fish and crabs and cichlids live in it until they get older and they go into the wide open ocean. This is protection. It's a nursery We need to protect it. Again, for all the captains in boats, please be careful how you drive or you captain your boats up in the river, because we need to protect the manatees. They are beautiful creatures. Tour guides, try to use it positively. Use these manatees for sightseeing. Protect them. Let your people enjoy them. Let again their numbers increase. Let's not diminish them and try to be destructive and destroy the population of our lovely, lovely, gentle giant manatees.
The gentle giants are a part of tourist attraction. It's not too many places in the world that you could come to and see these animals in their natural habitat. Belize is probably one of the last places that you could come and see these mammals floating up and down the river and in the sea. So we got to protect it. Earlier you talked about the red mangroves. You could see that these things are trying to get water all the way into the canal. So I don't know how this works, but it's a unique, I mean, how to explain it, you would just have to see it for yourself. I hope you're looking at it on the cameras of TNC.
When you and I are together, I'm going to teach you, I'm going to give you a little science on how the mangroves breathe. The white and the black mangroves breathe differently than the red mangroves through pneumatophores. That's a root system that brings in air to them and expels as well salts. And we're going to talk more about that. But right now, let's concentrate on the race as it comes by. Let's see which is the other team that's going to get into this canal, EJ, because they're not far behind. Pretty soon, they're going to be popping up into this canal. In fact, you can hear the people talking. You can hear them making noise, and there they are. There they are. You can see Cub's Arm. There's Cub's Arm going for it. Friends of Friends Cub's Arm going for it. Right next to them is Bismillah Coupe Sheet Metal. That's right. There they go. West Track, Bismillah. Young Cutters is there. And you know what they're trying? They're trying to overtake. They're trying to overtake. The canal is wide enough for a little overtake there. I'm telling you, man, they're going to fight for it. These young cutters are something else too. They belong to the Boombi area. They're used to this type of water. Very young. This is about their 4th year. I remember carrying one of these little boys as well. They were so small. They're still small. And they're a powerhouse in La Ruta Maya today.
Young Cutters is a team to be reckoned with in the years to come, Harvey. These young brothers have showed us the heart, the grit to be paddling up and down these estuaries, these rivers, just to complete this 180-mile race.
That's right, but let's talk about West Track Bismillah as well. This is the only or the first mixed team that is where it is. In fact, it still is in contention for the third place, you know, the 3rd place at the end of the race. Bismillah West Track, the first mixed team. There's a beautiful young lady in the middle of those two guys that is digging into this water, trying to get her stance at the end of this race.
This is not nice. And when you look at the physique of these women, I mean, you would think from behind, if they're sitting, you would think, and if their hair didn't sell them out, you would think that these are males because they got some big arms. And it takes a whole lot to be digging with these paddles. As we were at Boomer earlier today, when we spoke to one of the paddlers, I asked him, let me see how light this paddle is, man. I got it, held it in my hand. It's literally ounces. And then he said, at the end, this feels like a big shovel.
That's what I was going to tell you. You get fooled by the ounces that you pick up. But when you're paddling in this river, brother, and the distance that these people are paddling and the amount of paddles that they put in per minute into that water, brother man, I will bet you, EJ, that you would feel like you're a little boy in this river in front of those beautiful girls.
Little boy, I'd probably feel like an old man because the paddle...
No, I meant that you will feel small.
Oh, okay. I'll feel small. I'll take that from you. We're having fun, Harvey. I mean, this is what, the 21st year that this is running, and only this time you get it on TNC. You also get it on Morning Matters. And by the way, you get it on Channel 7 here in Belize City and across the nation. And by the way, we want to say hello to the folks who are checking us out on Facebook. Here we come.
There's the little boys. These are the little boys that I always like to pick up. In fact, they're a little late to give them. In fact, they did get their rehydration. One of them failed, but they have enough. They wash higher stakes, and that's who they are. These look at that middle little boy. That's a little kid, EJ.
Yes, and unfortunately, they didn't get all the supplements. They didn't get all the servicing that they needed. Here comes another one, Vanilla Hills Lodge. Number 11, Vanilla Hills Lodge.
Vanilla Hills Lodge passing us, ladies and gentlemen. And then we have Armin. We have Armin and Print Belize Limited. Power powered by Wingle. That's what this canoe says. Well, that's powered by the arms of Armin, I'm sure. And then we have the Harris boys as well, still doing good. They're pumping. Harris is one of the older guys in this race too. And you know what? Underneath that chart is Power, Coast Guard Tritons. That's who they are. Followed by Team Pack. Pack is doing well. Pack actually suffered yesterday. And the man, one of the guys in there that got injured yesterday, is paddling with a sore shoulder. Still well banded up according to what I understand. De La Ruta, my eyes on. It's the most beautiful race in the world.
Nothing stops these brothers from going up and down the river. Nothing. We're still rolling. We're still rolling. We're expecting some more to come up. Traffic is very heavy. If you're listening to us, try to avoid the Northern Highway right now, because wherever you're going, you may not be getting there on time because of the heavy traffic.
And from the estuary that empties the Belize River into the Caribbean Sea, from the entrance of this canal, ladies and gentlemen, we see the approach of Chris Guidis' little daughter. We have Black Orchid Lodge. There they go. Miss Guidis, along with the two guys that come from North America, approach the canal. Scotia Bank Rural Boys going for it as well. And then again, we have Oceana. We have Oceana. This is Chris Guidis and Bob. Chris Guidis and Bob going for it. Ladies and gentlemen, two of the more popular canoes internationally as well. And Chris Guidis, one of them that is bringing technology in the making of canoes into this beautiful country. But for now,
okay, we're seeing the teams now heading right into the Hallover Creek, which is pretty much a diversion of the Belize River. Not much water flows through it, but it does end up in all the mangroves and the canals and into the Burden Canal. How came to be, we just say Hallover Creek, Hallover Bridge, and it's like a name, but it has a meaning to it.
Yes, the idea of the Hallover come from actually hauling goods from one side of the river to the other. It was done originally in pit pans and canoe. Goods from Belize City would come to that southern bank, put into pit pans, and then paddled over to the northern bank.
Hauled over to the northern bank.
Right, but later they went into the pontoon idea, which could carry more cargo, and then you just keep hauling on your rope, and you and your cargo, or whoever wanted to cross, similar to what they had in San Ignacio before the bridge.
The pontoons, which would be
some barrels or drums.
Drums that would be underneath
a
platform like a raft, and then you pull yourself across.
Right, and so because things were pulled that way over, they talk about the haul over. All right, so the place where you haul over, and then the bridge end up with the name, and the creek end up
with the name
too. Okay, we are now in our last few minutes before we reach Belize City, and I told you that there were two things I want to discuss about the Hallover Creek itself. I mean, apart from it being the tributary of the Belize River, help with the flooding that in these big top gallon floods. But my research have shown that sometime in the 1920s, 1926 or somewhere thereabout, we had a chief forest officer assigned to Belize, and he introduced a botanical garden on the west side of the Hallover Creek, not too far from the entrance where these guys were right now. And when we did our tour down the creek, we did see some plants, flowers that, to our surprise, was still existing among the mangrove. For some reason, they were able to keep alive, and that was quite pleasing for us, the researchers who are trying to look for evidence of what we found in books. And so that's one of that I think need to be conserved. If the people in forestry could take a look at that and see what we can do to preserve it and make it something that the tourists can know about if they by chance travel up that area. Another important thing on the Haulover Creek is a Jewish cemetery on the north side of the creek. Again, not too far from the bridge itself is this cemetery. And the last time we went there, nearly about 8-10 years ago, the cemetery was in a lot of bush. And I would think it would be nice if they could clear it, try rehabilitate it, and have it as one of the tourist attraction as part of Belize City, what they offer to the tourists. So there are these two historical settings that could be utilized as part of the tourism.
What kind of a cemetery did you say?
A Jewish cemetery. There were some Jews who lived in Belize for a time, and they got buried around that area there.
Now I had no idea that there were ever any Jewish people, or now or then.
Well, Bruce, welcome to our show this morning. We are now hauled over into the creek, and we are moving into Belize City.
Right.
And I'd like to just go back into the old Belize. What was Belize as a town, and then, of course, as a city. Let's, since you're here, Bruce, you've been coming to Belize for many years, and you always reminisce or tell us the stories of the little airport we had and what Belize City was all about.
Well, Belize City was, to use a word popular, I guess, amongst people of not my generation, it was funky. It was a sort of tumble down, patched up looking collection of small buildings on the coast, and it was really there was, I think, the largest building in town at the time was the Catholic Church. It was the Paslow building. There wasn't much here. It was I think at the time when I first came here, the population of Belize City was probably 30,000. And there was
100 times more than that.
Yes.
Yeah. So Belize City had a real charm about it. It was like stepping back in time. It was a really interesting place. Not anything like it is now. It's beginning to look like a city now.
Yes. At that time, when you were coming to Belize, there's pretty much the highway was just a little one lane and everything. And the Belize State Produce Company was pretty much the owner of most of the land at the time. What was the importance, or what did BEC made for Belize and Belize City?
Well, BEC for Belize City was basically our main employer. They used to operate the sawmill around the Ladyville area, and since we were the wood cutting country, we had a lot of our people versed in operating the sawmill, and for the most part, then BEC became the bigger employer for the citizens of Belize itself, the city itself. And whatever they earned from BEC may have been small, but was good enough to maintain the businesses like Harley and Brody's that were the main business houses at that time. And so the importers and BEC had a sort of relation because BEC offered the employment and the earnings obtained from BEC went into the hands of the importers and retailers at the time in the city.
Any recollection of BEC?
My thought about that at the time was, and I may be wrong, but it seemed to me that Belize State and Produce was, and the outlying areas of the country was the government. They, I think, had a great deal to say about the making of government policy, and I'm sure they enforced it in the more remote areas. I think the colonial people stayed in Belize City. At least that was my impression. And the Belize State and Produce ran everything in the countryside. But the first time I came here, I was aware, before I got here, I was aware of the fact that Belize State and Produce pretty much owned the country. So the friend of mine and I were here. We went to their offices in the old Pazello building to get their permission to be on their property. And we were taken to the second floor of the Pazello building, which was a huge single room with rows and rows and rows of clerks with big ledgers writing things. And we were taken to the office of the general manager of the company. And I was explaining to him that we were here visiting and we wanted to ask their permission to go on their property. And since they seemed to own most of it, that seemed to be the place to go. And I'm in the middle of this explanation, and the very, very, very British gentleman who's in charge says, before you go blubbering on, the answer is no. And I said, well, I'm certainly sorry to hear that. We came a long way, and we wanted to get your permission and so on. He said, yes, well, you've never been in the bush, have you? And I said, well, no. And he said, it's quite uncivilized. And you see, the problem will be that you will wander off into the bush and you will die. And then I'll have to go look for the body, and it will be such a bother. I said, well, I don't know put you in any trouble, you know. He said, well, off you go then. So I got to the door of his office, and he said, no, one moment. And I turned, and he said, you understand, I absolutely forbid you to set foot on our property. And I said, well, no, I understand quite well. And he said, now I need to tell you, we don't have anyone watching it. So I suppose if you go there, I won't, and I don't know about it, it won't make any difference, will it? And I said, I suppose not. And he said, oh, you go then, goodbye. That was my introduction to Belize State and Produce.
Okay, and you wandered off. And
Yes.
You're here with us.
Yes, yes, we wandered off. We did not die in the jungle.
You survived, all right. Good that you did. Anyway, guys, we are running to the end of the show, so to speak. And I'd like to make some more comment on Belize City itself. We know that the city started as an area where the logs were finally taken after they were floated downstream. Those would be logs coming from the interior, the San Ignacio area. And we know that the logwood itself, in their bark log craft, from the area we passed yesterday to explain what the main economic center, would also be taken to the city where they would be chipped and squared and then sold off to Venice for the logwood, or to Liverpool, or to Bristol, or London. Okay, those were our main buyers of our logwood, the hematoxylon species. And like we said, England and the United States bought a lot of our mahogany. As the years went by, the superintendent left from the north side of the Halover Creek to settle in what we know as the government house for a while, the governor house, and live in Belize City proper for all the other period of years of our colonial existence. But at first the town was basically Regent Street, and anything west of Regent Street was known as Over Pond. Now Over Pond was where the black slave lived. At the time the slaves were not yet buying their freedom. Later some slaves began to buy their freedom through manumission, and they began living on the north side of Belize City that today carry the name called Freetown, because those sections were bought by free slaves who had bought their manumission. Anyway, the important thing of the Overpond settlement, we know that the slaves, the able-bodied slaves from these hutmen that they had, would have been taken upriver or along the New River or along the Rio Hondo from Belize City itself to do the cutting of mahogany or logwood. And then at the end of season, they would come down to Belize City where they would spend their Christmas, or eventually then they start having their little jump up, as you would call it. And two of their main dance was the Sambai and today we call it Gumbe. I looked at the dictionary to see if I could find the word Gumbe, but I was unable to find the Gumbe as we spell it. But I did find Gambe, which is a kind of French dance where they do a lot of prancing and policking. Probably it would be similar to the Sambai dance. But I talk about it because we look at the pirates who had come along with Peter Wallace, who are basically Frenchmen. And so this Gumbe dance could have originated with these French pirates, and they introduced their dancing. I know there is a popular song that we learned as we were growing up, Mali Gumbe, Gumbe, Mali Gumbe, Patakila Sikova, Kova Kova Yonga. And so the English superintendent did not like the lots of drumming that was going on when these guys would come down from the forest. And so by 1796, the English superintendent banned drumming from among the Creole blacks. At that time, they were slaves. It probably was from that time then that the Gumbe dance came out of, I believe, history. And the only dance that remained with that African touch is the one that is now practiced by Gales Point and other little black gatherings in Belize City called the Sambai.
Which is not the traditional dances that we're doing in today's time.
Well, no, today we are doing more the breakdown and whatnot. But my point of bringing this out is that we tend to associate drumming with only the Garifuna people. But in essence, the Belize City blacks also did drumming, because drumming is an African music. Yes. Okay? So after the drumming was banned in 1796 in Belize City, the only people who continued doing the drumming were those who lived 36 miles from Belize City, in Danguiga and the other Garifuna settlements that were found in the south.
And the Creole community of Gales Point.
And the Creole, right, because Gales Point was sort of isolated for a long time, no? Right. As the town began to grow, we noticed that more slaves started coming into the area, and somewhere around the 1820s, we end up with areas like Ibo, which would be around the Mesopotamia area right now in Belize City. And then there was sort of a division among the different black slaves that were imported into the country for the woodcutting industry. So as Leila Vernon said, we had the different groups, and she listed all the different group of blacks that we had. But for some reason, the English practiced putting one group against the other, and even though two of them were black, one group of black had some sort of prejudice against the other group of black. And I remember as a young man growing up, no black liked to be called Zulu. For some reason, that was sort of a negative connotation for them because of the prejudice that was introduced, divide and conquer.
I think that was typical of the British rule all over the world. That was a very traditional English way of dealing with local populations.
Right. And so as we continued then, Belize City began to expand from the overpan idea. Later on, we ended up with the different section of the city being developed. By the 1920s, canals started being built and the city started moving west and west and west. And I remember when I was a teenager, Collet Canal was basically the most western area, and anything west of Collet had not yet been developed. Today the city now is a much bigger city and much more complicated.
But the city grew up around that, the sea and the Hallover Creek, and then the building of canals. So it was pretty much a water city, and you would have the buildings being built around those canals.
Right. The canals were also built as drainage. I'm not sure why they narrowed them now. We say we are improving, but if you narrow a canal, all you do is you make the water rise higher, and that's probably why they're having problem with their streets in Belize City right now, because the engineering done for the canal was studied. And so the width for those canals were approved by engineers because they knew what width we needed to have made to get the water from one side to the other side and keep the city at least with as least water as possible.
We're getting feed from the guys out on the river. Okay, we're still waiting for them. Okay, well, because we're coming closer, and I want to focus a lot more on the waterway because I think it's important. Also, the people living in Belize City, I guess, took the waterways for granted because we are very familiar with the practice of dumping everything to the canals. And I would probably say 30, 40 years ago, people were still swimming on that canal. And because of that practice of dumping all the waste to the rivers, At this time, they are
problem,
not.
yeah,
They're not safe. I mean, when I mean everything, it was the stories of the buckets, where people would use buckets as the toilet and go to the canals in the morning and just throw them into the canal.
I remember the canal being used, and there were people who come from upriver, maybe Gales Points and all those areas there, and they would be selling their coconut, sugar cane, and other commodities right from the canal side.
Yes.
And it was such a vibrant thing. It was, like you said, they would swim in it. People would fish along the canal there, and so it was not only the cattle that was in the canal at that time, but they were clear. They were clean.
Yes.
Today, because of the clogging and the siltation, I remember the last time I went to Belize City, where the swing bridge is, man, a sort of a peninsula was being created from siltation, and that is a hazard to the navigation. Okay.
It has been a tendency in the past, and hopefully now with new regulations and enforcement, industries and residential, commercial, industrial are not dumping their waste directly into the river, or at least with a treatment before you do it. It was a malpractice of not only in Belize but all over the world, that when the industry started to grow, it was a common practice to just dump your waste into the river. I mean, we have a lot of rivers in the U.S. and all over the world people are now catching up on trying to revive them from being killed.
And many of those rivers are completely dead that have been brought back. Now they're beginning to clean them up, and people are appreciating those waterways for what they are. And the same thing is going to happen here.
The big issue we were talking about, the lagoons, Mr. Mena, and the importance of the mangroves. I mean, what is happening right now in New Orleans is that they're reviving or bringing back the wetlands, because they had destroyed the wetlands, they had built housing in the wetlands, and those were the areas that were completely flooded and abandoned now. They're trying to bring back the wetlands because that is what actually naturally controls a flood. So I just wanted to twist that a little to the importance of our waterways. Now, we are actually in Belize City right now. We're looking at everything flowing down the river, and we have always been mentioning for the 4 days that we all live downstream. So whatever somebody does upstream affects us downstream. And more so now, we're emptying everything that we're dumping into the river down into the sea. Now, looking at the Blue Planet 2, which is a documentary of the BBC, it highlights that we thought that the seas were so vast that there was nothing we can do to actually affect it. And in this documentary they did, and it's being aired now on Saturdays on BBC, it shows that what we've done needs to be corrected, because by the year 2050, if we continue this way, there will be more plastic than fishes in the sea.
Wow.
50% of the oxygen and the food that we consume actually comes from the sea, or is affected by, given to us by the sea. So the sea has more of an impact to our lives than we think it does. And what we're doing in the pollution part of dumping everything, not just the plastics and styrofoam, but pretty much our wastewaters and everything that we are dumping into the rivers and directly into the sea, is having a major negative effect on the wildlife and the plants and the sea, that at the end of the day create that 50% of oxygen that we actually use, and a lot of the food. So looking at that is going back to what, as a person, can you do to lower the carbon footprints? What can you do to reduce that negative effect, or even stop the negative effect that we're creating? We see a lot of the wildlife in the seas, like birds dying, and then when you look at the skeleton, it's all plastic inside their stomachs, and things like that. So we need to start looking at that. Our coral reefs are dying drastically. They are bleaching, and it's all of chemical runoffs, and we have a sewer runoff. Barbados is having a major catastrophe right now with sewer runoff into their seas.
You know, Louis, we were talking about a few minutes ago about Belize City, and what you're talking about now, I think, is so important, because unless attention is given to these conservation and restoration efforts, Belize City will become unlivable. You cannot continue to do what we do and live here.
One of the effects of climate change is the melting of the ice caps, and they were saying that will, in effect, have an effect on the sea level rise. And if that happens, well, we know what the Belize City will end up being.
It'll end up being underwater.
Yeah. So we look at the and the question is, everybody goes like, oh, the conservation groups. It belongs to everybody. We need to do our part in whatever we do. Right now, we, as a company, and also working with different NGOs and even the tourism industry, we are actually negotiating with government that we would love to be able to promote more biodegradable disposables than styrofoam and plastic. Just to change that, to change that aspect of where whatever we use and we throw away, it will biodegrade and break down into basically organic material than plastic and styrofoam that stays there forever, and it's affecting negatively, releasing toxins and affecting the wildlife. So those are issues that we are working with together with the different groups, and hopefully we're moving there. We have started along with Raymond, a good friend out of San Pedro, who has started a plastic recycling initiative, and we're working with him in glass and plastic, crushing it and turning it into other materials that will not end up in the environment. So there's a lot of other organizations with the same energy to do more, and I think we should all get together and put all our efforts together to actually move forward and much faster. I think it's the time, it's a crucial time. If we, the question has always been, are we at that timeline where not turning back, or can we turn back? And I think if we put all our efforts together, we can actually turn back and actually start reversing that negative impact that we have created. I think we are getting ready to coming closer to the Belikin Bridge, where the race will be finishing this year. Down at the Belikin Bridge, it was always so lovely to finish all the way to the String Bridge, where most of the chicle and everything ended up. But of course, logistically, it's almost impossible to do that. What would be some, meanwhile we're waiting for the people to go?
Okay.
What would be some of the iconic buildings that would reflect on the chicle, mahogany, and logging days?
Well, right now I think we have that certain building on the north side of the river still existing. The rubber turtle was one of our main chicle exporter. I think we discussed him in the upper level of the river story before. And basically, the church you talk about, the Catholic Church, the Holy Redeemer, these are
and St. John's too.
And then the St. John's Cathedral too, the Governor House, the House of Culture. All these.
Okay, we're heading now to the area of the Belikin Bridge, where the race is coming to its finish. Let us move on to our broadcasting team there.
You know what? If they're both coming right now, Coop will win overall. But I think that Mitch will give it the last stroke of strength, if that is what it takes to cross this line first.
Well, one of the niche the guys in the middle, is not feeling too well, and I'm sure he's not feeling too well. Yesterday, he had real stomach cramps. I saw him get out at Isabella Bank. His stomach was hurting him. He was in pain, and I could see the agony in his face. He did not like the fact that he had to get out. But you know what? Today, he will prove to the world that he can beat Coupe Sheet Metal, your old team, Jerry.
This is where good insurance comes in. Definitely Atlantic Insurance. They do all sorts of insurance. So when you're coming on this race, you definitely need insurance. You also need Valvoline oil. This is going to be the magnum finish. The magnum finish. What? What are we looking at?
We're looking at the teams coming in.
And now I could see Coupe Sheet Metal up front. Niche is right on their wake. The race is still going to come down to a sprint. Like I said, these guys are looking for the line. They don't want to press that nitro button and they can't see the line. They're looking for that line, Javier. When these guys know the line is on this side, we're going to watch a good sprint.
All right, and there we go. Let's bring it down to the finish line. We have Niche, we have Coupe Sheet Metal, side by side. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what it comes to. This is what it comes to. They're thinking that the sprinting line is over that side. The print is on. The sprint is on. They're neck to neck. Ladies and gentlemen, Coupe Sheet Metal, Niche, Coupe Sheet Metal, Niche. That's how it goes. Coupe Sheet Metal, Niche, Coupe Sheet Metal, Niche. It looks like, it is Coupe, it is Coupe, it is Coupe, it is Coupe. Coupe Sheet Metal won the La Ruta Maya 2018, followed by Niche in second place.
Yeah, and actually Coupe won today's stage. You know, easy. It looked easy for these guys. For the fans, it looked easy. But you know, look at Jerry Cantor. He hanged his head. He's happy. He's tired. You know, I know how these guys feel right now. They're like, all right, it's over. But you know, they hold the 2018 La Ruta Maya Canoe trophy.
Jerry, I could literally see your hands pushing the paddle bee. I could see your hands pushing the paddle. And now I think Rhonda will go and look for some of the paddlers as they will be coming to this direction. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, Coupe Sheet Metal is the team 2018 champion. And there we go. The 2018 champion followed closely by Niche. Again, Niche proved that they're champions. Yesterday, one of them were injured, but this time they showed that they still have that heart of the lion. And they did make it all the way to second place. Jerry, these guys will come to you. I'm sure they will come to you, and I'm sure that you're as excited as they are. I could feel it in your voice, and you know what? You might realize it, but your hands made the paddle on canoe just now.
I actually did. I was stroking away, man. You know, yes. I wanted to, you know, I wanted to get in the race. I can't get in the race. The race is over. I'm gonna get in the race next year. I'm gonna be with one of these guys, you know, talking about. They're gonna say, Jerry, we thought you give up, but I'm gonna be there. You know, I know a lot of these guys miss me.
All right, La Ruta Maya 2018 is over. Up to this point, we have more paddlers coming in, but the champion is Coupe Sheet Metal. Jerry, that's your old team as well. And there we go. I'm being taken towards the paddlers as I give Rhonda the microphone.
That's right. We see Jerry Cantor and his team from Coupe Sheet Metal coming in. I know that these guys are definitely tired, but this is definitely going to be these guys did well. Congratulations to you guys. He needs a few seconds. If this water was more shallow, I definitely would have been walking on it. But because you can't swim, this man said make you swim there. Because I can't swim, I don't know how deep this water, and I'm a little bit nervous.
Yeah, Rhonda, this water is not too deep. But, you know, these guys are going to come to us. You know, these guys, they work hard. You know, they're tired. They want to catch their breath. You know, the race is over, yes, but these guys work hard. You know, this is my old teammate. These are all my friends, you know. And these guys going to come and, I know they want to come and talk to me.
Gentlemen, good afternoon. Congratulations. How are you?
Thanks. First of all, I want to give thanks to God and our sponsor, Coupe Sheet Metal, to Mr. Elvin Penner for supporting us. Also, I want to give a big thanks to my two teammates, Amado Cruz and Daniel Cruz. Those guys were really strong through the 4 days. They are two strong veteran guys that knew how to handle the pace of this race. So I want to give them a big thanks.
Amado, what was it feeling like going up against Niche? We know that you guys were comfortable because you know that the chances of them winning this year's race was next to none. But just now for that sprint, for the audience, for the spectators, what was going through your mind?
Well, first of all, I want to give thanks to God for
giving us the strength to win this year. And the niche team is a very strong team. And I think if they didn't capsize yesterday, I think it would be a harder race for us. But I take my hat off to those guys. Those guys are really fast. They are strong. And it just came down to the sprint, and we got a better chance to get a lead ahead of them, and we took it.
Well done. Let me move to the back here. We have friends of friends, Cubs on. Well, while we wait for these other guys to get in, let me move myself to the back here. Young boy, how you go?
Well, good right now. Well, first of all, I want to thank the Lord Jesus for having us the 4 days to reach safe, and thank the Coupe Sheet Medal for sponsoring us and our coach Alvin Penner.
What was your most difficult leg?
The most difficult leg was the first day and this last day.
What was so difficult about this leg?
Well, this leg, it was the canal was from the canal to here to the bridge was shallow, and then Niche was right there. They are real fast.
So the day when Niche made the rest, that the day when I had the best time.
Yeah, thanks to that.
All the best and congratulations.
Okay, thanks.
All right, this is Ruta 2018. The fun continues out here. You know, I get a little bit wet, but that's all a part of the game. It's all a part of the race. You can't just come out here and expect to go home the same way you come out here, because that's not just how it's set out. Had I known, I would have come out here in the swimsuit and some water shoes, but this is what it is. Let me see if I can get the guys from Niche. Henner Cruz, Henner! How are you? Mine now, because I can't swim, so come close. The closer you get, the better it is. Henner, how you go, my Bali?
It's good. First of all, I want to give thanks to God that He gave us the strength to make it the 4 days.
I got you.
I want to give thanks to my sponsors and all our fans who are supporting us, and Brian too.
What was it like coming in there today with that sprint? Because we know that you guys are fast, and you know, but what was it coming in knowing that you definitely can't win the race, but you stand a chance of winning this leg?
Yeah, we knew we couldn't win the race again, so we just wanted to win the stage, but we didn't get it. I think they still got us maybe by a little bit.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, now we have the guys here from Cubs Arms. All right, we have friends of friends out here with us. Congratulations. You guys did phenomenal. What was today like for you?
Well, today we have, you know, we may need time, so we gone with everything, you know, the last of the race. I left my all out there, you know. But yesterday we make some mistakes, and, you know, we pay for it today. I think we lost our 3rd place meal, but so you go. In the race, anything could happen.
What was your most joyous time in this race?
Well, today, you know, I got a lot of fans that support me, you know, to the fullest. I want to give thanks to friends of friends, most of all, you know, that they sponsor with make we could take part in this race, you know, and last minute we decided to come, but hopefully next year we prepare like for win. You
Well,
know?
I think you guys did excellent today. You guys were last minute enters into the race. You entered late into the race because I would imagine you were looking for sponsors. Friends of friends, Philip Ramirez came through for you guys,
Yes.
and there you are.
Definitely, yes. Thanks, miss.
Thank you so much. We have young cutters. I remember when this Baliana may have sprout. All right? Sorry, Wally patience. You know, I wish I had at least seat right there to sit down. You could stand up or no? Yeah, good. It's by young, he could stand up. All right. Turn around this way, make I could catch your face. Tell us your name again.
I'm Kenrick Daniels. Yeah.
Kenrick, how was your day?
Well, it was good all the way, but we just tried to stay with the guys, and we didn't get any service at the mouth, so we ran out of service, and you know, we kind of got a little bit weak. And you know, I'm still proud of my team. You know, we didn't train much as those guys, and we're not in much shape, and those guys are definitely stronger than us, but I'm still proud of my team, proud of me. Thanks to God for giving us strength, and to all our sponsors. I don't know if you want to read them out for me behind my back.
Scotiabank, Martha's Guest House, Harvest Ski, CPBL, Belize Archives and Records, Castro AC and Electrical. Those are the people that are helping to make young cutters, to bring them out here and have them participate in the race. But I'll tell you what, they are people, yeah. Congratulations. All right, this is my gal. For the whole team, I said, this is my gal. They are first in their category, 2nd overall the last time we checked. They came in strong, they did well. I know that they always said this is my gal, but this is my gal husband. Hello, how are you?
Hey, Rhonda. A bit tired.
What was today like?
A bit tough. We had to fight behind waves, and that kept us back.
All right, we see coming in there just now, we see the wash. All right, tell us some of the preparation that went into this year's race.
Well, we tried to do training with the top guys, so we managed to ride most of their waves and learn a little bit and just get more resistance from them.
All the best.
Thank you.
Are we going to see you again next year?
If I'm alive, first God, yes.
What got you started in Ruta Maya?
Huh?
What got you started in Ruta Maya?
Well, my husband, the cousins, friends from Esperanza, they told me, you can do it, girl, let's go keep it up. That is why I'm here.
What is the biggest lesson you learned from participating in this race in this year?
Well, the guys from Ranza.
What did you learn?
Well, I learned to have a better stroke and get the more stamina. That is what I learned.
All the best. You know, nobody ever talked to you because you're at the back, right? And most of the time we don't get time for go to the back. Tell us your name.
Eric Canoe.
Eric, how are you?
Well, tired, but still giving thanks to God that He gave us the strength to start the race and finish it.
All the best, Eric. Congratulations for first in your team. This is the first mixed team that came in here first in their category. Now we're looking at the Young Wash. The Young Wash is the guy from Cayo. This guy is 10 years old. He started in Ruta Maya when he was 9 years old. You know, these guys, none of them in here more than 18. Daniel, turn around, make the camera could see your face. Right, yes, sir. Daniel, congratulations. How are you feeling right now?
Exciting.
You could go another 10 miles?
Yes.
What would you say to another young person out there to encourage them to get into this year's race?
It is a fun sport and they can come.
Thank you so much. Have you feel any aches and pains or anything?
Yes.
What part hurt the most?
My shoulders.
So what happened today? What you want to eat today when you get out of this?
You don't know.
No. All the best. How old are you?
14.
How old?
14.
14. So when you were paddling last year, you were 13. What is the difference between last year and this year?
I'm stronger now.
The man says stronger now. Anybody you want to thank?
I want to thank God for helping us throughout all the way, and I want to thank my sponsor, Group Sheet Metal, and the wash and the wings.
Who uncle? This is your uncle? Daniela, your uncle?
He para my uncle.
You know what?
He para my uncle.
He para your uncle. There you go. All the best. Let's jump to the back and get this fine gentleman at the back here. Miss, thank you for giving me at least support. Morning, tell me your name.
Enrique.
Enrique, how old are you?
16.
This is your what? How many years have you been paddling Ruta Maya?
Second with this.
You like it?
Yeah, of course I like it.
What is the thing that you enjoyed most this year?
Well, how people cheers about us and support us.
How your body feel?
Well, I don't feel tired right now because I never made a long stretch.
All the best. This is Ruta Maya 2018. Fun time out here. It's phenomenal. For you to be a part of this race on any level, you definitely have to come out here with heart, soul, and everything else. You can't come out here half. You can't come out here half as a participant in the race. You can't come out here half as a spectator. You just can't come out here half. You have to come out here full and ready. I'll tell you what, though, let me see if I can make my way. I don't know what's going to happen to my feet after this. I don't know what happened to my foot after this. This after this. I can't say it, but I think I'll be okay.
If you catch Masamura, then go on. If you catch, you remember Masamura, Jerry?
What the Masamura?
If you catch Masamura, then go on medicine when you eczema.
Eczema. I never catch that before. I don't know what that is, but I hope Ruta doesn't catch it.
Because they say when you go in a mud, you catch Masamura. I don't know, then you get eczema. You have to wet it and they say bone.
I think Valvoline Island wash all of this off for me, okay? I'm all over this.
But you know what, Rhonda? I'm in the day, girl. And I think that everybody forget Wali hello at least. But I think I'm in the day.
All right, let's see who we have here now. Vanilla Hill. Good afternoon. Tell me your name.
Gustavo Pot.
Gustavo. Who's Vanilla Hill?
Vanilla is a small little lodge close to Bullet Falls, you know. It's a nice little place to go and enjoy it. I want to send thanks to my sponsor. First of all, thanks God, you know, who gave me the strength, who gave me everything to reach here. You know, thanks my sponsor, Franklin, Miss Claudia. I love them. And thanks Pilgrim for their paddles, you know.
How many years have you been paddling?
This is my first year, Mom.
Well done, congratulations.
Okay, thank you very much. First time.
Thank you. Your first time too?
Yeah, first time.
How that workout feel?
Work out pretty well. We did pretty good, yeah.
All right, let's see who else we have here.
Give it up to these little guys, though. They're good.
For sure.
They're good.
Where are you from?
We're from San Ignacio, Santa Elena. We're right close to this new bridge that's built. That's where we're from. Know to find us, we're there.
All right. Coast Guard. We don't normally see Coast Guard so early, so the boy must make out of something special. Hello, how are you?
I'm good right now.
Tell me your name.
Albert Davis.
Albert, how many times have you paddled Ruta Maya?
This is my first time paddling.
What got you started?
Well, I just want to do it long time. I want to do paddle long time with these guys because these two guys are the senior guys here, and they are the one that bring me out this year.
Where you from?
Sand Hill Village.
How much practice you get?
About a month.
Well done.
Yeah.
Next year we'll see you again.
I hope so. I want to win. I want to win, so.
You're young, you're strong, you got time in your hand.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and we have Armin and his dad. You know, Armin, first I have to say congratulations to all of you. But I also have to commend you for the contribution that you have put in the 21 years that Ruta Maya has been running. I think that there are a lot of, while you have been champion after champion after champion, and you are a champion in your category right now, congratulations on that. Your contribution has been phenomenal. You have brought a lot of people from Esperanza in, including your own family, your son, and now your dad. What does that feel like?
Well, first of all, I want to give thanks to God, and if I ever forget the man, make it forgive me. And thanks to all the fans, thanks to the Print Belize and Rubbles, and all the sponsors that sponsor us, Universal, and Mr. Gentle and Claudio Cruz, my dad. Mr. Gentle and Mr. Claudio Cruz, they're really good. I want to know that without them, I couldn't win the race, you know, but I feel good because, you know, I got young kids, my cousin, you see that little kid, the man that beat me, I have to respect that, you know, they're good. I have to give them good, you know.
Thank you so much, and congratulations again.
Well, I want to big up Ranza people. I want to big up all the Cayo people, Lena people. I big up my neighbors and mi familia allá en la casa, también la iglesia Nazareno and la luz del mundo. Saludos allá a todos los que siguen a Cristo, que sigan fuerte.
Thank you very much. I don't know what he said, but I love when a man gets comfortable and use the native tongue. All the best.
Thanks.
Bibbs, since you are the only person that could Bibbs publicly, Bibbs, why they call you Bibbs?
According to my late dad, I was named after one of my uncle.
Is that your proper name, or is it just a name that they call you?
That's just a name. My correct name is Rudolph Gentle.
Well, Bibbs, how was today?
Today was rough, especially through the channel. We tried our best, but we know that in that channel, the water is always dead. So you know you will have problem in there. Even the other guys will tell you that.
How long have you been doing Ruta Maya?
I started when it first...
21 years ago?
Yeah, that was 21 years ago. I have missed about 3, so I think I've got 18 under my belt.
What does it feel like to be in this race at its 21st year?
To me, it's great. It's an achievement for the race. I've seen how the race have progressed since it started back in '98.
Thank you very much, Bibbs, and congratulations for your win.
Thank you.
We have Black Orchid. Remember, when you're looking for a nice place to stay in Boom, it definitely has to be Black Orchid. My guidance gal, you know, and I stoop down, but I think my butt don't get enough wet for today, all right? If you have room in this canoe, I'd sit down, but see, that's my girl. This is a Boom people. She realized I can't go down there because I old, my butt wet, my pants wet, so she decided she has to stand up. You don't get any better than that, all right? What was today like?
Today was pretty good. We did our best. Came in second here again, but we're still third overall. Just want to thank my teammate Chris Prater and Oliver for doing this with me.
What is it that you learn? What is the biggest lesson that you learn from being in this Ruta Maya?
Wow, come here prepared and well trained. Because if you're not prepared, you're not going to do well and you're going to take lick.
All the best.
Thank
How's the sun been to you?
It's hot right now, but I felt okay going through the creek, but now the sun's hot.
Did you get anybody to bathe you off today?
Oh yes, lots.
Guys, congratulations and all the best.
Thank you.
Can we thank our sponsors, Black Orchid Resort, Vincent Gaddis Canoe, Ripple Effects. We have Sunrise Gas Station at Caribbean Sunrise Gas Station at Ladyville. We have Paddle Stop and LA Fashion Boutique. I want to thank my family who's out here to support me, and also we would like to thank our service crew.
Well done. Congratulations again. You know, then the guys, make a go up something that the rest of my crew could get some talk time, because I feel like either right here just to talk out everything. But Jerry, then the guys, when we sit at Esperanza, when we flip, then guys, yeah?
Yes.
How that they go for you? Turn this way, make the rest of the world go see. Tell us your name.
Cameron.
Cameron. How much practice did you get?
No lot.
No lot. That one Creole term for 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 days?
Not much.
What went through your mind when you flipped in Esperanza?
A lot of things.
It's when a most fan, boom. He answered with a wide answer.
You know, Rhonda, I like this little guy here. He doesn't talk much, but I saw him a couple of days before the race, like a week or two before the race, getting ready for the race. I was like, Cameron, you going back? He said, yes, I can't stop. This race is addicted to these guys. I know he's going back again next year, Rhonda, and took part for, you're going to be in school next year? You're going to take part for the school next year?
No, it's my last year of school. It will be after this.
Oh, so he's still going to be taking part for UB, because UB want these paddlers now. He's going to UB, he's going to have to paddle for UB.
Tell me your name.
Kenneth Ferguson.
Kenneth, how was this year's Ruta Maya? How many years have you paddling? How many years have you been paddling Ruta Maya, and how is this year?
Well, I've been paddling 3 years straight. This year, it was hard, but the best year yet. The best year yet.
There you go. Congratulations. And your name is?
Hey, Jerry, my man. Keegan, tell it.
Keegan, how many years have you been paddling?
My first year paddling.
Who got you involved?
Kenneth and Cameron.
And how was it?
Very tough, but
You think you want to do it again?
yeah.
All the best.
Thanks.
My dude has showed up. I don't care what the rest of them say, but this is my dude. Chris, congratulations. Job well done. And I'll tell you the same thing that I told
Avis?
No, not Avis, that I've told. Oh man, I'm getting old.
What's that, Rhonda?
The champion, the old champion, Armin. The same, yeah, I'm getting old. These things happen. I'll tell you the same thing that I've told Armin. That first, I want to acknowledge your contribution to the Ruta Maya. Out of your camp has come a lot of canoes, but more importantly than the canoes have come a lot of good paddlers. Without people like you and Armin and all the other people that really contribute out of the genuineness of your heart, Ruta Maya would not be what it is today. So I publicly want to say, job well done. Thank you for continuing to invest not only your time and your energy and your money, but your entire self in this race. I also want to say congratulations on your position here today. How are you?
I'm perfect. I'm happy. The race is over, so we reach.
You, however, I want to also thank you.
Get it over here. Okay, baby. Not bad.
Wait. Yeah, I'll tell you one thing. So this is a story. I saw you at the night at the meeting.
Yes.
And I saw you holding a girl around her waist, right?
Yes.
So I said, this 76-year-old man have a young girl. But then another girl passed and you did the same thing. And now I'm standing here and you're kissing me and you're doing the same thing. So I realized that it's just how you are.
I am. It's just how I am. Yes.
I want to say thank you as well for sharing your knowledge in this sport.
That is the greatest gift that I could give my friend Chris. He's a terrific man. I love him. I love his family. And my partner over there, Dean, he did a great job today. It was a beautiful race for us today.
What keeps you coming back to this race?
Chris, his family, and the people.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Young boy.
Young boy, I'm 60. I'm not that young.
You were 60 well. Yeah. How was this race for you?
Overall, it was pretty tough this third day, but it was great river to paddle, lots of different challenging water. So coming from Canada, we don't get water like that. So it was a lot of learning when I was up here, a lot of boat skills I had to learn to deal with all the water up here. So it was great experience for me.
Brilliant. Thank you guys and congratulations.
I would like to big up my sponsor program for Belize, Oceana, Belize Water Service, Caribbean Sunrise, Black Orchid. If I miss any of my sponsors, man, thank you guys. Without you, we couldn't do it. Thanks to my paddlers, thanks to my fans, my family, thanks to La Ruta.
All right, thank you, Chris. I'll tell you what, we have somebody else here. Who do you have here? Hardly particular?
Hardly particular here.
And wait, bring the one. Well. Come. Bring your fine self right. No slip down, you know, kind of you one. Tell me your name.
Errol.
Tell me your name, Errol? That your name? No, Tell me your name. Chanel. Tell me a little bit about your team.
Well, we had me just come up for last minute. Must say a day or two before La Ruta. We only get 1 hour workout together. And
how you feel about it?
The name so hard?
Hardly particular?
We argue about the name particular.
Because we don't care.
That means then our Creole team fighting in the River Valley. That's how we talk. Congratulations.
Runda. Look who we got here.
Hardly particular lady. I'll tell you what, I want to get Eva Gobi. You know why I want to get Eva? Because she's a true athlete. Eva, I want to say congratulations. I know that this was a part of your bucket list, is why you call it the bucket list. How does it feel to be able to tick one of these things off your bucket list?
As I like to say, woohoo! It feels great.
What was the funnest time you had out there?
Just the challenge and achieving day after. I took it day by day, and the longest day was good, so I figured I could do the other two.
What was the most difficult time you had?
Paddling hard for long hours. But it was a great challenge, and I'm glad to say I can check it off my bucket list.
What else do you do beside this sport?
I try to play football, and I go to the gym, lift weights. And
for another person out there that might be thinking that they can't do it, what would you say to them?
Oh, definitely. Once you believe, and you will achieve it. Believe and achieve, like it says on my canoe, on our canoe. And I just want to say thanks to the guys, Anthony and Austin, because of them, I'm able to achieve this goal, and I feel really happy about this.
Eva, all the best and congratulations.
Oh, next on the bucket list, cross country.
I'll tell you what though, let me pull my team together, guys. Definitely we have to pull our team together now.
The first female.
The first female team. Let me get back in the water. Just when I think my legs then.
You're not done yet.
Just when I think my legs then could be dry. I guess I gotta talk to the first lady. Hello! Stop it. Wah! How are you? You can sit down right there.
I'm good.
Congratulations, first of all. What got you started in Ruta Maya?
What's that?
What got you started in Ruta Maya?
This is what? Sorry, I need a break. I just need to relax a bit. Let's start again.
What got you started in Ruta Maya?
When I was at the University of Belize, Total, everyone knows Total. I play football, so he said that I have the physique. So I came to Mr. Chris, and he started to train me. This year, when I started to train again, I told Mr. Chris, you remember the first time I was on this canoe? And thanks to you, I'm still here.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Hello, young girl. Turn this way. No, you know what? Now we know you're 60 for true. I said, now we know you're 60 for true. She said 61. Can you tell us your name?
Carol Raybuck.
Carol, turn around. Slowly. I want the camera to see your face. This way. There you go. Because my cameraman has been through a lot for today. We don't need to kill him with it. Carol, congratulations. What got you involved in this?
My good friend, Bob Vincent.
What was it like?
It was brutal. The heat was brutal, but we had a good crew. We worked together, and we made the best of it.
As you should.
And look what we did. That's what a good crew does.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I love your country.
Thank you so much, and thank you for coming.
Thank you, Belize.
All right, this is the coverage of the Ruta Maya Belize River Challenge 2018. We are standing out here. I'll tell you what, the Habs. Whoa! They never tip till now, but they tip after the line.
They told us to remember it's Baron Bliss Day as well. And I think that Luis Garcia will also go into details as well on Baron Bliss Day. But you know what, up to now, it's been quite an exciting morning. It's been quite an exciting day. Teams are still coming in. All female teams, mixes, you know, have been coming in. But you know what? Beautiful.
I think we need to take the opportunity now to start wrapping up. Why? Because this has been a long, fun 4 days. We need to thank our entire crew. Absolutely our entire crew needs to be thanked. I need to thank, let's start with Phil. Phil, thank you for coming in today. Anything that you'd like to say?
Thank you very much for inviting me. It's been so much fun.
Stacia, anything?
Yes, it was great. It was awesome. It was fun. I enjoyed it once again. Thank you, Rhonda.
Esme?
I had a lot of fun. It was a hard work, but I had so much fun.
As I said, how about Drew?
Rhonda, it's been great working with you again this year, and I look forward to next year. It's a great crew this year.
I don't see EJ. Oh, hey, EJ.
Thanks for another opportunity to the best broadcast team in Ruta Maya history.
Oh, yeah. Jerry, I have to first say thank you for taking up the challenge to come on this side of the camera this year. I have to say that publicly again, I want to thank you for giving it your all. It shows true sportsmanship. It shows that whatever you put your foot in, it's in. And I have to say, job well done.
Thank you, Rhonda. I can't say I'm not going to be here with you guys next year, but
nobody know.
You nobody know. I liked it. I actually do.
You look show up in your face. I'll tell you what, though, we're short for time, Javier. As usual, 20 years later, this Ruta Maya race would be nothing without standing here next to you. I also have to thank the guys at Channel 7, Jules Vasquez and his team, Dennis. You guys are phenomenal. I need to thank the guys at TNC for making this broadcast come together as one unit. The entire crew at TNC, the entire crew at Channel 7. Jules Vasquez and your crew, thank you, thank you, thank you. Javier?
You know, I'd like to thank, first of all, our cameraman, Misael, who did a wonderful job with us. I also would like to thank everybody else that assisted along the way. It was a pleasure to work with Jerry, EJ, and everybody else in the team. I'll be honest with you, for me, La Ruta Maya is La Ruta Maya. As long as it begins, my attitude changes. And when it finishes, I'm usually sad because I become a part of La Ruta Maya. But you know what? With the grace of God, who knows what will happen next year?
I'm sorry, not to cut you, but I have to thank Trey. Trey is my cameraman.
That's why I didn't say it.
And I really fully have to say, Trey, job well done. Trey is like me. You see how I look? Look. This the how Trey looks, same way. Yeah. But you can't say Trey. You know what that mean? That he put in everything. Trey, thank you, thank you, thank you. Guys, we have to send it back to our studio. On behalf of the entire crew, we have to say that this has been the magnum finish. This is the final wrap-up for Ruta Maya 2018. Thank you.
Bye.
Well, we saw all the excitement and all the interviews there with all the team members. I think Rwanda was able to grab almost every paddler at the end of the race and pull them there and pull their canoes and got a good feeling of how the paddlers felt. Now, there's something important about La Ruta Maya, which I guess the whole momentum of the race forgot. And we would like to close off our broadcast with it, which is La Ruta Maya was built with the pillars of environmental protection, cultural and historic awareness, environmental conservation awareness and protection, a tourism product development of the race. But it was all based on one thing, the 9th of March holiday, which is the Baron Bliss, now Benefactors Day. But let's focus on Baron Bliss because that was the main focus. It's a Baron Bliss holiday. Let's do something exciting. Who was Baron Bliss?
Okay, he was born Henry Edward Ernest Victor Barrett, 1869, Marlow, Buckingham County, England. He did not like school in his young days. Since he lived in the time of the Industrial Revolution in England, he picked up a liking for metal work, and eventually he became that kind of engineer and was able to earn some funds as the engineer. He later got married to Alice Baroness Bliss. But before he became a baron, he was just an ordinary Englishman. The story said that he inherited the title of 4th Baron Bliss from his cousin, the 3rd Baron Bliss, who was a titular baron of a province in Portugal. The 1st Baron Bliss inherited that title of 1st Baron Bliss because he had participated in a war in Portugal, and as a result then he was given a little piece of terrain as a barondom, and hence the Baron Bliss name start going 1st Baron, 2nd Baron, 3rd Baron, until Henry Edward Ernest Victor Barrett inherited it as the 4th Baron Bliss. We know that somewhere in his life he became crippled from his waist downward, and eventually he was confined to a wheelchair. Because of his crippledness, he lost his wife, and so he became a little bit disillusioned until his friends began to encourage him, life is not yet all over. You could enjoy life if you go on vacation. And so then he built a boat and called it the Sea King. World War I came and the boat was commissioned as a war craft, and he lost the Sea King in the war. He later built a second boat that he called the Sea King II, and at that time other friends began to tell him about the Caribbean, the British Caribbean, and that he could come to this region for vacation and try to get his mind off Ethel Alice Baroness Bliss. He came over 1920, and he lived in the Bahamas for a few years, but he did not like the Bahamas because he complained the people begged too much. And so he decided he would leave the Bahamas. He was told about great fishing in Trinidad, and so he went to the Western Pacific area there, and he lived for a while there. And while he was there, he got seasick, he got poisoned, food poisoning. He was taken to the University Hospital of the West Indies, and from the University Hospital of the West Indies, he later came to Belize in 1926. The Baron did not come to shore in Belize. He lived on his yacht. He was visited by the governor at that time, John Borden, and his food poisoning sickness became more pronounced, and later then he began to succumb to his ailment. Before he died, he made sure he asked the governor to get a lawyer so he could make a will. And in his will, he left some money for his wife, money to pay for his other expenses, and he said the rest of the money should be left for Belize. We know that he died on the 9th of September, and in his will he said that he wanted, the 9th of March, not September, and in his will he said he wanted his money to be used to make a tomb with a lighthouse, a granite tomb, and eventually his wishes were given. His money is in London, a bank in London. It is managed by a trust fund of whom the Governor General of Belize is the president. And so if anyone wants money from the Baron's fund, they have to go through the trust fund by making contact with the Governor General. And if the amount of money that is asked for is in the fund, the governor will make sure that you get what you get. In his will, he said his money should not be used to make school or churches. I don't know why school. Like I said, he did not like school. I don't know why he didn't want the churches to. But he did say that any project that was given his money should have a placard, a bust, to show that this building or this project was accomplished by the use of money from the Baron Bliss Trust.
Therefore, we ended up with a holiday on the 9th of March.
Right. In honor of the gift that he has given Belize, I think he's our greatest benefactor. I know that other people have granted certain things to Belize, but nobody have given their life's work as the Baron did. I always remind people that, in essence, he did not really give it to Belize. He gave it to the British colony at that time. And so as the new country Belize, we are benefiting from it, but an Englishman showing love to an English settlement was basically what he was or what he did at the time. And so today we acknowledge the money that he has given us, and to show our gratitude, a holiday have been given in his honor on the 9th of March.
Well, that really concludes our paddle down the Belize Old River. We started in St. Ignacio on Friday. It's Monday and we are in Belize City. We took pretty much a good brief description and information on the whole route, the road coming from St. Ignacio down to the river to Belize City. We looked at the historic points, some of the Mayan use of the river, the logwood logging, chicle, the settlements. We looked at the importance that we need to give the river, the importance of what the Belize River does for Belize as a country, and what is it that we need to give back the river, which is just protection. Less contamination. We need to give the river more respect, and pretty much that love that gives us, I mean, the river gives us life, gives us the water that we need, and we in return need to protect it from our own human activities that are detrimental to our waterways. Bruce, I thank you very much for coming and joining us.
Thank you, it's been fun.
And Mr. John Mena, thank you very much for that enlightening stories and really giving us that essence of what the river has been for Belize.
Thank you.
Well, thank you very much to the national channel. I think it's first time here and for me, and I think it's a wonderful job the guys are doing here. For the guys out down in the river, Javier, Ronda, and the rest of the crew, great coverage of the race. I'm Luis Garcia. Thank you very much.
It's important that my money is safe. That's why I chose Belize Bank.
And having Belize Bank Mobile doubles as my fraud protection. Whenever my card is swiped, I get alerts that my credit or debit card has been used.
With Belize Bank Mobile, I